What we saw over the weekend, both in college and in the NFL. Doubleheader last night in the NFL, really fun. And the way they did, we talked about it kind of going into this week of how usually it's like one game starts around 6:30, the other game starts around 7:30 or 8, but this one was a legitimate doubleheader on first one on ABC, second one on ESPN. So I liked how they did that last night. Really fun. We'll talk a lot about it. We also got to talk some Major League Baseball as we're really getting down to the wire late in the season, trying to figure out what it will look like in the playoffs. So much to get into over these next 3 hours. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm well, and it was timed almost perfectly.
Yeah, it was.
I want to say the first game ended about 8:58.
I would say so. Yeah, it was right around there. I mean, it was
and rolled right into the open and the kickoff of the second game from Sin City. And Brian, I really think my astuteness on so many subjects will really be appreciated after my passing.
Okay.
But last night just clarified something for me. Who was on the Tom Brady has to decide bus first a year ago?
You were. I mean, those
a year ago. I don't care which one he decides to do. That's his business, financial, work, however he wants to do it. He cannot be in both.
Yeah. I think last night was kind of the that was the boiling point for a lot of people. Seeing that video, seeing him in the booth and working with the Raiders. I mean, it was something.
It was to most of us out here,
right?
But it wasn't to Park Avenue.
No.
NFL, nothing to see here.
No,
move right along.
Not.
Even the NFL's even deleted a tweet of him in the booth, and the tweet was like complimentary. Like, look at this brain power in the Raiders booth.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people knew about it, but I don't think people really cared about it until they saw that last night, and then they said, "Oh, wait, no, this isn't good. I don't like this. This doesn't look good at all. Something has to change here." And then, now all the outrage. But yeah, I mean, you were number one on that a year ago. So yeah, you absolutely can wave that flag.
Live, local, and first.
That's right. That is exactly right. But both those games I thought last night were awesome, really fun games. The way that, especially the first one played out, where it was back and forth pretty much all night. Buccaneers get on the board really late, only 6 seconds left, and to end that game with a win. Second game not as close, still a fun game I thought. But Geno Smith, oh boy, and I like Geno Smith, but that was not fun last night. I just like him. I think he's a fine quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback by any means, but last night was not a good showing for Geno.
Boy, Tom Brady, he has to be watching that tape and going, I don't recognize quarterback play like this.
No. I mean, it was really, really bad. And
okay, we know the rookie, the freshman NFL campaign that C.J. Stroud had. We know it was a little sophomore-itis. Are we into junior-itis?
Yeah, I mean, I there's a lot of reactions to what he's done the first 2 weeks of the season. I don't want to make any call on him just quite yet. I mean, still very early in the season, but
you don't want a huge overreaction?
No. We'll do that at 4:30, Brett. We will do that at 4:30. This isn't one of my strong overreactions or just proper reaction, but I think it is something that you need to start looking at because it was so good his rookie year.
And use a running game.
Sure, and but it wasn't very good last year, and this year the first two games hasn't been great either, and so yeah, I think it's something to start keeping an eye on with Houston.
Yeah, and in that first game, look, it's sometimes, not sometimes, often, it's klutzy, it's awkward, it's not very pretty with Baker Mayfield. He, for kind of a little go-go quarterback, he's not that fast.
No,
he's not that elusive. Takes some big hits. Knows where to go with the ball, and pretty reliable.
Yeah, no, he's really reliable, and
boy, did the Browns blow that! Just unbelievable. And I like the Browns. I like the Browns. I have friends of mine that are true Browns fans. You can count on something, and it's sad. if the Browns turn left, you should have turned right.
That's exactly right. And no, he's done a really nice job. And I think, getting somewhere where he could kind of find his footing and really stick, really helped him. And where he could kind of build that confidence back. And it's kind of helped him. It was.
And look what he followed.
Yeah,
he followed.
And that's the thing.
TB12 double not agent.
Exactly. And so, I think, it was kind of the worst time, perfect time for him to go in there. I think obviously Tampa Bay had no options after Tom Brady retired.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, but it's also you're following one of the GOATs, and so it's hard to do.
Somebody had to.
Yeah, somebody has to do it, and it kind of gave him enough time to get in there, get his footing, and he's been fantastic since taking over.
And what did every sentence start with in the Tampa market? Well, hopefully they got over that bridge successfully to make these statements. That bridge to get to where the Rays used to play.
I guess it's not a problem anymore.
Almost unnavigable.
Yeah.
But it all led with, well, we know he's not going to be Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, maybe that's the way you got to start it.
The bar got so low.
Yeah.
That just one little baby step, and he was over.
I love it, which is, it's great for him, he don't want to go out there and say, I'm going to be the next Tom Brady, and say, hey, just be good, and that'll be fine. And that's exactly what he was. He was really good, and, or he's continued to be really good, and he was really good, especially late last night in that game. Some of those plays he made as they were on that game-winning drive, just really impressive. You talked about some of those big hits he was taking. He was rolling out, picking up some yards, went down, got hit immediately, got up and did that first down right in the defender's face. So, he was he does. He leads with his chest, that's for sure.
Yeah, he does.
But he was really good. Yeah. No, I think the bar is perfect for him. It's just be better than Jameis Winston. But, we're not going to hold you to Tom Brady. Just be somewhere in the middle, and that's exactly
Didn't you
what
describe Brad Johnson?
Yeah, that's...
the description of Super Bowl winning quarterback Brad Johnson?
That sounds exactly right.
For the Bucs?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They have a couple quarterbacks in there that you could mix and
Steve
match.
DeBerg was kind of like that.
Yeah. But no, he's Baker's been really good. And
all right, I made it. I made it to the end of the first quarter last night.
Did you?
And Brian, I'm not kidding you. You won't know this reference, but there was a boxer in the late 70s. Well, you're a tomato can in a punching bag when your nickname was the Bayonne Bleeder, Chuck Wepner.
It's not a
I
great
was
nickname.
Chuck Wepner, struggling to the bed. Even the great Muhammad Ali could not knock him out.
Really?
He would just sit in there and get tagged forever, bleeding, busted up.
That's great.
And finally, the 15th round bell would ring. That was me stumbling and bumbling to the bed.
Well, Brett, I'm glad to share you didn't miss anything. Nothing really happened. I enjoyed watching. I missed
Brady Gate,
so
though.
You did. You did.
And
miss
Brian,
that.
I go back to my original contention that this is the peace offering of all time for putting him through that bogus Deflategate junk.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. But you say you missed it. I watched the entire game and I didn't see it. I must have stepped up and gone and done something
Twitter
when
thing
they showed it.
that I woke up to.
I just saw it on Twitter after the game and I was like, I completely missed it. But watching the game, I guess I had walked away to do something during a break in play and I completely missed the shot of Tom Brady.
Now, Brian, like in a lot of things, and this is fine, collegiality, professionalism, kind of the coterie of being in the club. A lot of those production people for ABC, ESPN, Disney, they either know or have worked with the Fox people and the NBC, all of them. Do you think it was a little shade to maybe try to cap him and knock him off because he's pretty good ratings in TV? I don't think he's improved a lick as an analyst.
Yeah. I didn't think he was as good in week 2. I thought he had a couple of bright spots in week 1, but
I forget it's him.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. A lot of times you don't know who you're listening to, which is a good point. But maybe it was like Brett. I love conspiracy theories, and this sounds like a beautiful conspiracy theory by ABC and ESPN. Kind of, hey, we can start some chaos. You see who's over there in the coach's booth? That's TV12 over there. He's a big star. Everyone loves Tom Brady. Let's put a camera on him and see what happens. So I don't hate that idea, Brett. I kind of like it.
And it was very Natalie attired. Went kind of the sideline. Don Shula, Tom Landry, Hank Stram 70s look.
He sure did. No, he was well, and as you know, Brett, because I learned more about what Tom Brady was signing on to play flag football. It is a Saudi Arabia flag football tournament. So the
Live
Saudis are in
flag
Live,
football?
and now they're getting into flag football. So they had a whole press conference before the game last night with Tom Brady and the Prince, and he signed the contract and all that stuff. So he had to be in his best of clothing, Brett.
For so many reasons, he's not going anywhere on Sunday afternoon.
No.
He's going to be the analyst.
Oh, yeah.
Because, as I said back in May, during real time of the upfronts, when they go to New York or Los Angeles, wherever they are, about a week out, let's say it's in Los Angeles, about 3 or 4 days out, hey, golf at LA Country Club, golf at Riviera, with TB12, to all those ad buyers.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you get in front of them, look, you can fill in any analyst other than Tom Brady that has cachet.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the night before, the purchase agreement.
He's Tom freaking Brady. Like, what? Exactly.
And then when Tom Brady gets in there and he's with ad buyer, FAR, fill in the company.
Sure.
Whoever, Kraft, Anheuser-Busch, American Express, whatever it is. You're booked to purchase 1.8. Could you add 300,000 to it? Yeah. Just make it 2.1. We really kind of need it.
Sure, Tom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tom. Man, it was great playing golf the other day. Had fun the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean he's
Greg Olson can't do that.
No. I love Greg Olson, but no, he is he is not gonna sell like Tom Brady sells. I mean, none of those guys are. I mean, Tom Brady, he stands separate from everybody else.
So the league has to say, okay, cool on Sunday.
Sure.
No more Raiders.
No, I'm definitely with you.
And the league historically, maybe not as much the Sun, but the league loves slapping around Al Davis.
That's true. That is a good point.
Because Al Davis loved and won slapping the shield around.
Well, and you don't get away with slapping the shield
not
around,
even,
Brett.
Not sins of the father. You don't even get away with that, do you?
No. You don't come close to touching the shield, or you're.
Landon went 2-0 last night.
How about
he hit
that?
both picks.
Yeah.
We split.
We did.
I lost Houston, won LAC. You won Tampa, lost Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Landon had them both.
Yeah, Landon had a good night, and we were talking about that earlier. So a little 2-0 night for him. Hey, as long as I don't go 0-2.
Landon spiked the ball?
Hey, I wouldn't say he spiked the ball. We were just talking about the games, and he was like, "Yeah, it was nice going 2-0 last night." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I went 1-1." So
just kind of worked it in, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of.
Good afternoon. What's been going on today?
Yeah, he just kind of slipped it in, and then I kind of was like, "Well, I'm glad I went 1-1." I can't be mad at 1-1, and as long as I don't go 0-2 nowadays. I mean, after the way that kind of all of us started, I think we're all just shooting for not going 0-2 or 0-4.
Real quick, here's us for the season. College football, both of us, you and I, we're both 10-8. Landon is 4-14. NFL, I'm 5-9. You're 4-10. Landon is 8-6.
Okay.
Overall, I'm 15-17. You're 14-18. Landon is 12-20. I lead. No, I'm tied with you because of you picking straight up shots.
Vandy, anchor down.
We're both tied at -2 points on the all-important scoring system.
I love that. I don't like that we're all in the minus, but
not good.
Not great. But hey, it's still again very early in the season. I mean, there's only one way to go for us, and it's up, I think, or we can just stay the same.
Our Friday pickers, here's the readout for all of them. Alan Bell, college football 2-2. He's 7-6 on the year. On the NFL, he was 3-3. He's 6-8 on the year. In the NFL, 13-14 overall. Brad Bellamy, college football 2-2 with 2 soul-crushing heartbreak losses. He's 8-4 for the year. He was 2-1 NFL, 10-5 overall for the year. Bruce Marshall was in college football was 7-3. Wow. He's 18-10 in college football for the year. He was 0-1 on the NFL, 0-3 for the year, 18-13 overall. On Friday, Brad Bellamy is out of the country, but he will send me his picks.
All right.
We'll have that on Friday, but he won't be able to be with us.
Well, I love that. That's dedication right there. That's why we
sure
love Brad. I mean, he's still giving the people what they want.
I mean, ever so close to a really I mean, it already is good, but
Sure.
even better.
Oh no, it definitely could be. He's been
but
really
we keep
good
up with it all. And we tell it all.
Of course we do. Hey, we are transparent, Brett. We are not hiding
we
anything
got tapes
over here.
and
That's right.
archives and podcasts and everything to prove it.
All these hours are recorded, so why would we even hide anything? I mean, it's all out there, so we don't hide anything. But now we got a lot to get into over these next 3 hours, so let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Matt Infield from Action News 5. He'll join us. We'll talk Tigers with Matt. We'll recap what we saw in the win against Troy, start previewing this game against Arkansas. 3:45, we'll talk some baseball as we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to the regular season of Major League Baseball, as these teams still jockeying for position in postseason play. So we'll talk a little bit about that game. One game, I believe, already final. It was underway earlier, a doubleheader between the Braves and the Nationals. Game one, I believe, already done there, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the Braves won. Can you tell me some good news, Brett?
Well, let me see. I just looked at it.
They're up big. I mean, it would be shocking if they lost that game, but...
Braves won 6-3.
Okay, good deal. So we get good news early.
They're playing out the string in that one.
Yeah, no, they really are.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, no, it was, and it's kind of raining up there. It was. You want to talk about some bad crowds? You watched that Braves and Nationals game this morning.
Box score said 15-5. I think closer to 1,500.
Yeah, I was about to say it was certainly not anywhere close to 15.
Tell it however you want to tell it.
Just put that number down there.
I don't know why when you do that you stop at 15-5.
I mean, really.
When people know there's only about 1,000 there, say 150,000.
Just go all out. I mean, if you're gonna lie big. But whatever. But that's what they want to do. So hey, I'll let them do it. But we'll talk some baseball at 3:45. 4 o'clock. Brent Beard from First Coast News in Jacksonville. He'll join us. We'll talk some college football with him. A lot of SEC, a lot of ACC that we will get to with Brent. 4:30. It'll be reaction time. We'll get to our NFL proper reactions and overreactions from week 2, kind of what stood out to us. 3 proper reactions, 3 overreactions. So I'm excited about this. I think I've got some good reactions from week 2 in the NFL. We'll get to that at 4:30. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Bo Marchant. He'll join us. We'll talk a ton of NFL with Bo at 5 o'clock. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's and Humdinger's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's the world's biggest spa sale going on right now at Family Leisure. Spas are starting at $29.99 and swim spas are up to 30% off. Get out there for the floor model specials. They're going on right now as well. And cold plunges, they're starting at $49.99. Get a free umbrella with the purchase of select patio furniture sets and the swimming pools, the clearance pricing. It's going on through the end of October. Buy now and save on the price increase. And don't forget about the special financing. It's available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime, and we're live, and we're local, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. One-stop shopping for both of those. And always the guest line will be 901-360-8255. That's also brought to you by the great people at Sissy's Log Cabin. We're in our Family Leisure Studios where we always are, regardless of where we are. Landon producing, Jay Ham helping out. He's Brian, I'm Brett, and we want you to be a part of our show. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe, luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is week 2 in the NFL, wrapping up last night with a doubleheader. And I thought it was really well done. I thought it worked out. I thought it was fun watching both those games, the way they played out the doubleheader. And I'd like to see if this is something they continue to do in the future.
You want it every week?
I don't know if I want it every week. I know for a fact I don't want it every week.
Once a month?
I mean, every once in a while. I wouldn't mind it. If we get something like this. I know, last year, the year before, this isn't anything new with having multiple games on Monday night for Monday Night Football. But, in years past, especially last year when they did it a couple of times, it was, one game starting at about 6:30, the other starting at 7, 7:30, maybe closer to 8. But the way they did this, where one started at 6, the other started at 9, it was really nice to be able to watch both these games in its entirety, have a straight-up doubleheader. And I thought both games were fun for different reasons. The first one was just a flat-out great game. Buccaneers, the Texans score to take the lead. The Buccaneers get the ball back. They drive down, score with only 6 seconds left. Texans really don't have any time to do anything. They ran the clock out on the kickoff, and the game was done. Buccaneers get the 1-point road win. The second game, well, it wasn't as fun because of the game, but I thought watching the Chargers and seeing what they were doing as Jim Harbaugh continues to implement his type of game, I thought it was fun to watch. They got a big win, 29 over the Raiders. It was a really bad game for Geno Smith, only 180 yards throwing, 24 for 43, 3 interceptions. How about this? 0 for 12 with 3 interceptions on passes that went 10 yards or further downfield. I guess if you take that away, it was a pretty good game for Geno, but the problem is you got to throw the ball downfield, and he could not do that.
It's a big part of the game.
It's a big part of the game, and he could not do that last night. They also couldn't get the run game going. Neither team could really get the run game going.
Took away the 4 quarters played.
Well, that's true. That's also true. But hey, if Geno's just doing check downs and screen passes, he was really good last night. Everything else, he was pretty bad. On the other side, I thought it was a really good game. Justin Herbert looked really good, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. But the run game for the Chargers couldn't really get going. Only 81 rushing yards, and Justin Herbert was the leading rusher with 31.
Harbaugh wants to run.
I was about to say, Jim Harbaugh's not going to like that. They're still kind of figuring out their running back room. Omarion Hampton, a rookie, he really hadn't been able to get going. Najee Harris coming off that injury he suffered on the 4th of July. So I think it will get there, but right now it's just not clicking. But all in all, I thought really fun Monday night.
Who do you think Harbaugh wants to be the go-to running back?
I think he wants it to be Omarion, but I don't think he's ready for it yet. So I think it's going to have to be Najee.
Yeah, and I think it's come and gone for Najee Harris.
I think so too. Yeah, and that injury just made it even worse because he didn't have an off season to really figure out what the Chargers want to do to get familiar with that team and that scheme. So I think they figured it out because Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach, and I think he'll figure it out. But it was not very pretty last night.
It wasn't. My top story: Memphis will play Arkansas in football for the first time since 1998. That was Rip Shearer versus Houston Nutt. Houston Nutt's first year at Arkansas, and it was magical. Got off to the great start before the Sterner stumble up on Rocky Top. Memphis leads 3-2 all time. Won in 92, 93, and 94. Arkansas won in 95 and 1998. This will be the 4th time in Memphis with 93 and 95 at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Don't book rooms for that 2030 game. And, Brian, I was looking at FBS schedules today. It shows a 2028 game in Fayetteville as well. Or has that already been scuttled and it just hadn't gotten deleted at FBS?
Let's see. I'm actually on that website right now, so I will look it up. Yeah, I mean, it's there. I don't know anything about that game in 2028, so yeah. I really don't know.
I wouldn't count on any more after Saturday.
No.
And yesterday, Hunter Yurchek. What he was talking about at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, it has sent, reverberations. And that was big-time donors and boosters sitting in that crowd yesterday. And him just saying, we're not any good. He was talking about Arkansas wasn't built to be a national champion. I think people around the Razorback program wants a 5-3 SEC finish. Hadn't had an over 500 finish in SEC since 2015. They're not talking national champion.
No.
They're talking about being relevant.
Yeah, let's not worry about winning national championships. Let's just worry about winning seasons.
The good thing about 2030, that charlatan will be gone, long gone by then.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, is kind of what you were saying with the Arkansas-Memphis game as we're getting closer to the weekend, and we'll be talking a lot about this matchup, but it also has to do with this topic coming back up again, where Ryan Silverfield yesterday, meeting with the media, talked about the Memphis-Arkansas game for next year getting moved to 2030. He said, to our fans out there, know that we're trying to schedule anybody that's a national brand. We want to play those games. That's important for us. So you look at this 2026 non-conference schedule now, with Arkansas not on there, you've got Arkansas State at home, you've got UT Martin at home, and you've got Boise State on the road. So you have to add one more non-conference game in there, and the question is, who will it be against? He says he wants a national brand. Well, I feel pretty confident you can mark out the SEC for next year. I don't think you're going to get a game against the SEC. I doubt you can probably get...
Tennessee's been over forever.
Oh, well, it's been over, and now with the nine-game
Ole Miss is
schedule,
over.
nobody's gonna schedule you, and certainly nobody's gonna schedule you next year. So I think you can be done with the SEC. I think it's probably the same thing with the Big Ten. So now you're looking at, I don't know, maybe the Big 12, maybe that's the ACC, maybe somewhere in there. I don't know.
If you're Dr. Scott, and it's over with Tennessee in football, and it's over because of Barnes and Penny in basketball, but for Ole Miss, it's not going to happen in football. Would you say, okay, no football, no basketball?
I wouldn't. I still wanna play, and maybe that works it out. But I don't wanna end that relationship completely in any sport. I'd like to keep it open.
My not top story, I've only been saying it for a year. TB12, decide. You want to be an owner or you want to be an announcer. You can't be both. Or rather, you shouldn't be allowed to be both. If I'm the Chargers, Kansas City, and Denver in that division, and they hate each other,
absolutely
I don't let you down on the field pregame to watch our deep snapper.
Not at all.
I don't let you anywhere near our facility on Saturday or Friday for interviews and game prep that he has to have to do a good broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, I know in a lot of the college football world, the coaches are scared of their own announcers, much less this guy having skin in the game, being an owner.
Yeah.
And this is how much football means to him. Giselle Bundchen said, football or me.
That's right.
He chose football.
He chose football. Yeah, I mean, I think, look, you can take Tom Brady out of football, but you can't take the football out of Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? He's always got that type of mindset.
He learned from Belichick.
And he's a genius when it comes to football. And so
he can walk down the hall and steal your signs.
Oh, yeah. So I would not let him anywhere near my team offices or my team at all in general. And I don't know, but now it's becoming, we've talked about it for a while now, Brett. You were, again, the first person on this of Tom Brady cannot be doing both, but now it feels like everybody is on this wave after seeing that clip last night.
Get in line.
Well, yeah, exactly. Back in the line, buddies. But we'll see if anything actually comes down from this. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we're going to talk Tigers. Matt Infield from Action News 5. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Does your system sound like this? Hi, this is Lauren Choate from Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. If your HVAC system is over 10 years old, then it's probably out of warranty. Don't wait for it to break down and cost you expensive repairs, but be proactive with this incredible deal from Choates. Right now, for a limited time, for the first 50 customers, we're giving a free 10-year labor warranty plus $1,000 off a brand new carrier system install. That's peace of mind and big savings. And that's not all. Thinking about a backup Generac generator or maybe endless hot water with a Rinnai tankless system? You'll also get $1,000 off plus a free 10-year labor warranty on those too. Since 1958, Choates has been serving the Mid-South with old-fashioned service you can trust. So turn to the experts with Choates and call 347-8086 and let our family serve your family.
I've got him on the line, Marty McNade over at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. What you got going on over there, McNade?
Randy, I've got 2025 Taos S, $236 a month, and 2025 Jetta Sport, $239 a month.
That's Taos S, $236 a month, and Jetta Sport, $239 a month. What else you got over there at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown?
How about 2025 Atlas Crossport SE, $279 a month? Hey, nobody can beat my deals today.
Plus, you told me earlier, all 2025 Atlas Peak Editions and SEL Atlas, $5,000 off MSRP.
That's right, Randy. Come see me, Marty McNade, at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles, 25 cents excess mileage. Taos S, SMO 56598, MSRP 2711. Jetta SMO 851,138, MSRP 25916. Cross SE 23120, MSRP 39206. Peak Editions SEL Atlas 3,500 manufacturer rebate, 1,500 cost discount includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Volkswagen Credit. Excludes tax title and license to the Group Credit Dealer Stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/30/25.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Traffic's building pretty good out here right now. All the major outbound routes. It's been a little bit slow today. 55 northbound. Trying to get up past Macklemore, all because they were working 55 on the bridge there, headed back towards West Memphis. As traffic gets a little bit heavier already on 240 as you get on to 385 Billmore Parkway going outbound. Make a difference by adopting a pet at the Humane Society of Memphis Shelby County. Check out their animals that are up for adoption. MemphisHumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some Tigers, and joining us to do that like he does every Tuesday, Matt Infield from Action News 5. He joins us now. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get into today, but let's start with the Tigers win over Troy on Saturday. What jumped out to you in that matchup, in that 28-7 win for the Tigers?
More than anything, that once Troy's starting quarterback, Goose Crowder, left the game, they were just totally and wildly outmatched. And I think that the Tigers, the way they approached the rest of the game in terms of their offensive play calling and how relatively conservative they were, I think they knew that Troy didn't have a chance to beat them straight up in a fair fight. And the only way that the Trojans were going to have any semblance of a chance of winning that game once their starting quarterback got hurt was if they inflicted a bunch of wounds on themselves and basically beat themselves and turned the ball over. So run game was good. Obviously, Sutton Smith goes for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Second one, I mean, he was just shot out of a cannon. He grabbed fifth gear and he was gone. But other than that, I don't really know that there is anything super strong to take away from that game just because, like I said, I think it had a chance to potentially be a fun game, but once Troy lost Goose Crowder, all hope for that was gone because they were just a very inept offense, and that's probably being nice about it.
Matt, I think everybody in this market, fans, media, college football fans of other places, I think everybody had Memphis 3-0 to this point. But there's 3-0, and there's 3-0 the right way, and it's been the right way.
Yeah, for the most part. It hasn't been – I'm trying to think the best way to put it. You know, Chattanooga, obviously there's an enormous talent gap there. You took care of business. Georgia State second half, yes, I'd agree with that. First half, you're wondering what's going on here. Now, obviously, they got to correct it, especially defensively in the second half. And then I do wonder what this game might have looked like if Goose Crowder doesn't get hurt. And that's not to say that I think that it's been a bad 3-0 for Memphis. I just don't know that, from what my eyes have told me, I don't think it has been an overwhelming 3-0. It's been good. It's been solid. But I do think that they are going to have to play another notch or two better, if not more, if they're going to win this Saturday. Because this Saturday is the first real deal litmus test of how good this team is, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and one thing that has been missing these last two games and most of Game 1 is Greg Duosier. A lot of talk about him after his season last year, what he could be now, has been out for the last two games and most of that first game after exiting after the first quarter. But in this week's depth chart, there was an or listed after Sutton Smith beside Greg Duosier's name. Ryan Silva has been saying that Greg Duosier is day-to-day. Do you think this means good news for a return on Saturday against Arkansas?
I try not to get too much into the weeds of depth chart jargon and lingo just because college coaches, and to their credit, and I can't blame them, they know that it could be, I don't know about competitive advantage, but keeping certain things shrouded in mystery probably benefits them and at least gives the other team something to think about. So we'll see. I have thought that even if there was anything lingering over the last couple of weeks, and apparently he was in a boot during the Georgia State game. I didn't hear anything about if he was in a boot or not or what he looked like at Troy, but I have thought for a couple weeks that if there's anything lingering, they will hold him out until this game. So if he is, this is a week where if he's, let's say, 75, 80%, I think he'll play. If he's worse than that, and if it's really a problem and he's seriously hurt, then obviously he might not. But the last couple weeks, you probably go in with the mindset, all right, he's not quite 100%, we're going to hold him out. Whereas this week, it's probably, all right, he's not quite 100%, but he can play and he can be relatively effective. Yeah, he'll be out there. That's how I imagine they will approach it. I have no real intel on how serious the injury is. I don't know that anyone does. But if he can play, I imagine this is the week we'll see him.
Matt, I know you watched the Arkansas-Ole Miss game because real time. While I was at the Ole Miss game, I follow you on Twitter, and I could see you were watching it and really watching it closely and astutely. Tell me how you think Memphis can win this game Saturday at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
Force probably multiple turnovers of the Arkansas offense. That Razorbacks offense is no joke, man. I tweeted during the game Saturday. You can think whatever you want about him getting down to the nitty-gritty of the quarterback. Taylor Green, I'm telling you, if he has a somewhat decent rest of the year, he will be a day 2 pick in the NFL draft at mid-on next year purely because a team will fall in love with 6'6", dual threat with a rocket arm that can move like that. And he's played very, very well so far this year. They've got this running back, Mike Washington, that's ripped off some explosive runs. Obviously, Taylor's very, very dynamic in the run game and some of the read option stuff they could do. And Omega Blake has splashed maybe not like a top wide receiver across the country, but certainly someone that can anchor this passing game for the Razorbacks so far this season. So, yeah, I think if Memphis doesn't force some turnovers, there's a real chance that Arkansas could put a cricket number on them this week because, they were probably that one fumble from Jaylen Brown away from really making the people down there in Oxford sweat this past weekend and potentially stealing a road win to start SEC play for them. So, yeah, I think that this offense could be a handful for Memphis. And, I think the Tigers are going to have to try and win the possession game if they're going to win the game overall.
Oh, sweat. My undershirt's still soaking wet.
Yeah.
It would.
That's right.
Matt, I tell people, and I said this yesterday, out at Strategic Air Command, they have DEFCON 1, 2, and 3 at Ole Miss.
Yep.
Our full DEFCON is 4th and 25. For Hunter Henry, we were there. We were on alert for 4th and 25 and something crazy happening. Matt Infield from Action News 5 Talking Tigers with us. He joins us every Tuesday. He's on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. And Matt, I think the turnover number is at least 3. And not only cause them. You can't cause one and then 3 and out. You've got to create 3 turnovers, and you've got to put 21 on the board when you get them.
And it's probably, to your point, probably the turnover differential where you could force 3 Arkansas turnovers, but you can't give 2 back either. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that I don't want to hype up Arkansas too much like Memphis is playing Georgia or Ohio State this week. But I do think that we have seen against, like the first half against Georgia State, I'll come back to that, some of the, I don't know about deficiencies, but maybe the defense not putting together a full 4 quarters against a team like Georgia State. I'm telling you, if they play a bad half on Saturday against Arkansas, they'll probably get 28 points thrown on their head in that half. And then if you're trying to beat this Arkansas team in a shootout, I don't know about that. Like, if Arkansas starts putting up 35, 40 points, I don't really see much of a path to victory for Memphis. So, yeah, I think the turnover differential has got to be, like, +2 at least. I think Memphis has to control the ball. I think they have to obviously, this is a run-first team, so they're going to have to control the clock, control the possessions. But, again, I've said it for weeks. This could be the game where we see if this passing game can dig them out of a hole when necessary, when they can't just run the ball. So, yeah, I think that, Arkansas is only favored by 3.5, 4 points, I think, but it's a scary team coming in here. I think Memphis is going to have to play pretty close to their A game if they want to win.
I don't think Memphis has to play their best game in the history of their program. Not even close.
I agree.
I don't think they have to play just flawlessly perfect. But I do think they have to play the best they've played in the Ryan Silverfield years.
Yeah, it's a lot of games at this point. Credit to Ryan for how long he stuck around. But, yeah, I mean, certainly, and this is where, in a way, I wonder if the way the Troy game went, again, Troy is not close to Arkansas, I don't think, but the fact that game was such a non-competitive environment after the end of the first quarter, let's call it. I imagine Ryan was kind of looking at that game saying, okay, this is a game we can win, but it's also going to be, a competitive G5 game that'll get us tuned up a little bit for Arkansas. And now, really, you've had basically 6 quarters of uncompetitive football going into this game, going back to the second half against Georgia State. And it's not to talk down too much on Georgia State or Troy with their backup quarterback, but you just wonder how ready you are for this Razorback team that just hung 35 points, did whatever they wanted offensively in the first half against Ole Miss, and were one fumble in Ole Miss territory away from potentially upsetting a top 20 team in the country. So, yeah, they're going to have to play one of their better games of the Silverfield era. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about Arkansas's offense, and good reason. It's looked really good through 3 games this season. But what do you make of the Arkansas defense, and what do you think the Memphis offense can do against it on Saturday?
That I think they can be had there. Now, again, I do not think that, given what we know just about SEC, the biggest difference between SEC and Big Ten schools and everyone else, who I call it that, with all due respect to the Big 12 and the ACC. But it's in the trenches, and it's the guys that they have up front on both the offensive and the defensive line. So I don't think Memphis is going to be able to run the ball 50 times against Arkansas or 45 times and expect to have success. They are going to have their most diverse offensive game plan as far as marrying the run and the pass that they've had so far this season. I do think that, that offense, that Arkansas defense can be had for this Memphis offense. So, I'm really excited for this game for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's a regional game. It's an SEC team. But this is the game where we will really get a sense of how good this team is. Obviously, if they win, they probably vault themselves right next to USF in terms of G5 playoff contention, and Tulane as well. Mm-hmm. And that's a statement win that can hopefully carry them the rest of the year. But we're going to get a sense of how good the passing attack is, how good they really are. So I'm excited to see how this plays out, because I do think you can put points on the Arkansas defense, but they're going to have to do some things they have not so far this year for the most part.
Yeah, no, it's a really good opportunity for the Tigers. Last thing for you, Matt, I know Ryan Silverfield, while speaking to the media yesterday, talking about this Arkansas game, also talked about the game being moved to 2030 and said that they're looking for a national brand, a big-time team to put on the schedule for next year. What do you think that will – what kind of team do you think that looks like for next year's schedule?
I saw someone mentioned one of the Pac-12, one of the former Pac-12 teams. I forgot the Washington State. I forgot the team is slipping my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Pac-12 teams though lost the game in the whole conference realignment and schedule shuffling and the SEC and whatnot. Oh, you know what it was? I apologize. It was not a Pac-12 team, but I think it was related to that for some reason. Someone brought up Louisville, and I think that could be a really fun game. You know, that rivalry is coming back in basketball this coming year. I think Louisville has an open date early next year. I think that would be sick. And Louisville's a pretty fun team right now. They're running back Brown. His first name is slipping my mind right now, but there's early chatter around him potentially being the best freshman running back in the country. So yeah, I think that if you bring that rivalry back in basketball this year, running back in football when both teams have the opportunity next year, I think that could be fun.
Yeah, that'd be. I sign up for that right now. If you give me the opportunity, that'd be a lot of fun. Well, Matt, always a lot of fun having you on talking Tigers. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll do it again next week.
All right, Jed. Enjoy the games this weekend. Talk soon, all right?
You got it.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Matt Infield with us every single Tuesday, talking Tigers all the way through the NCAA tournament. He will be with us. He's brought to you in part by East Memphis Ace Hardware. That's where we want you to shop locally with your friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quint Station Shopping Center, where the nice people are helpful and very knowledgeable employees and that great customer loyalty program that you can sign up for that will make and save you money. We all say we want that old-fashioned hardware store. We have it. We've had it. It's what Janelle and Jarrett Carter, it's what they've built and established and maintained. And we'll always have plants, tools, lawnmowers, grills. Did I say grills? The Big Green Egg, so popular anytime, especially on these long Saturday college football weekends and Sunday NFL weekends. Traeger, gas grills, charcoal grills, flat-top grills, Blackstone, Weber. They have them all. East Memphis Ace Hardware with everything you need to get cooking and to enjoy the outdoors, your patio, poolside, whatever it is. Knowledgeable advice on how to choose the perfect grill for you. Outdoor power equipment, tools, paint and supplies. Decorate your yard for football season with Tigers and all the SEC yard decor. I bet there's some yards that will have both Memphis and Razorbacks logos in their front yards this weekend. Outdoor living with patio furniture, coolers, and all the great brands like Milwaukee, Toro, and Steel. Ace really is the helpful place in East Memphis Ace Hardware, the local friendly place at 5143 Quint and Quint Station Shopping Center at Quince and White Station.
Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll switch gears. We'll talk some Major League Baseball. There's only a couple weeks left of the regular season. Teams trying to figure out where they're going to be or if they'll be in the playoffs. So we'll talk about what those wild card races look like and some of the news and notes from Major League Baseball. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
For the first time ever, you can get all of ESPN in the new ESPN app, along with Disney Plus and Hulu, with one incredible offer. The most live sports, biggest blockbusters, and most talked about shows. Get it all in one bundle for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Visit Disney Plus Hulu ESPNBundle.com for details. Ad-supported plan auto-renews at regular price. Currently $35.99 a month, subject to change. Unless canceled. Ends 1/5/26. Terms apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
On big game days, you want big game food, flavor, and fun. So on big game days and every day in between, you want Salt Sports Bar and Bistro. Salt has it all. Great happy hour food, great cocktails, and great games on 21 HD TV screens. You can also enjoy your favorite match on the patio with cigars and sports in the open air. Open for lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road. Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, where great food meets the big game.
Hey, I've got Rockin' Ronnie on the line at Gossett Hyundai South Mount Moriah. What's rockin' with you, Ronnie?
We are rocking some big savings at Gossett Hyundai Mount Moriah. 2025 Hyundai Sonata, $27,689 or $273,61 a month.
That sounds amazing. What else you got, Ronnie?
What about the new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE, Randy? I've got it for $30,775 or $339 a month.
Another winner. What else you got?
I've got a 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe SE, only $345.54 per month.
And America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So it's time to get to Gossett Hyundai South and ask for Rockin' Ronnie. He'll take care of you and make you a great deal on a Hyundai at Gossett Hyundai South, 2660 Mount Moriah, or shop online anytime at HyundaiMountMoriah.com.
Sonata SA 516,776, MSRP 28,810, Santa Fe TH 162,611, MSRP 37,285, Tucson TH 619,518, MSRP 31,755, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only must finance through age of May.
To NST, it's never just another case. It's your shot at getting life back on track. Real help, real heart. 35 years and still winning. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go online at nstlaw.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some Major League Baseball. Already one final today around the league. It was part of a doubleheader. The Braves a 6-3 winner in Washington against the Nationals. They'll give it a go again later this evening, about 5:45 or so for Game 2. I know there's rain in the forecast. It was raining on them a little bit in Game 1, so I don't know what the forecast looks like the rest of the day. But they're going to try to finish this doubleheader up there in D.C. But we
got to play at 162, don't we?
And we got to get these games in, Brett.
Tickets printed, stadium rented.
That's right.
Stadium paid for.
And they were joking about it at the end of that game because it started. The rain started really picking up in the top of the ninth inning in the Braves and Nationals game, and they were kind of joking on the Braves broadcast about you're gonna have a lot of guys going up there and just swinging. Let's get this game over with. Let's get it wrapped up before this heavy rain comes in, and let's get to the next game.
Sunday in the Bigs.
Oh, yeah.
A week from Sunday in the Bigs, but this Sunday in minor league baseball.
Oh yeah.
Watch those game times.
Oh, I believe
Buck 52.
Yeah.
I mean, it's let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah, a lot of those teams just playing out the strings.
And down the stretch of the year, I'm sure going to do this with the Nationals. I want to watch my friend Bob Carpenter. He's at the end of a distinguished broadcast career, a Cardinal broadcaster. He's done everything. Was on the original college football game day.
Oh wow!
I think that's right, way back.
Wow.
And I sure want to be watching him close out a really distinguished run.
Definitely.
As the voice of the Washington Nationals. I know 2019 was a lot of fun for him. The playoffs tonight in Major League Baseball really start. It really starts tonight. I say great night of games in baseball tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And you're going to see a lot of teams that are really needing to win, and are kind of, I don't want to say a must-win territory, but you really would like to win territory. And so there's some really fun matchups tonight. And going forward, I think you're right. Tonight you start watching and pretty much till the end of the season, it's going to be a lot of every night there's at least one or two games of got to watch this because this can affect what happens in the playoffs, especially with some of this wild card seeding.
And not just seedings, but especially in the American League, it's for slots.
No, it definitely is.
It's in or out.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and you're seeing this when it comes down to the standings. I mean, right now in the American League, you've got a couple teams 3 games out of the wild card, but you've got a Mariners team at 68 losses, an Astros team at 69 losses. So definitely something can happen there. Over in the NL, Mets still holding on for dear life. Game and a half lead in that wild card spot, the final wild card spot ahead of the Diamondbacks. So, no, it's going to be a lot of really fun games and kind of see how the season plays out for a lot of these teams.
The Mets have left the door open, and
they sure have.
So far, nobody will really enter.
No. I mean, you look at what they've done, 2-8 in their last 10 games. You have really struggled down the stretch, and you've got a team like Arizona who is now 6-4, 3 straight wins for them. But some of these other teams that we were saying, could they maybe make that push? San Francisco, they've lost 3 games in a row. Cincinnati's playing kind of 500 baseball right now, and so will a team be able to go up there and take it? I don't know. None of those teams really knock me down as playoff teams.
If the Cardinals, if they were 500, this would be an interesting last couple of days.
No, it really would be. I mean, the Cardinals just win a couple more games throughout the season, and we're all in right now of, hey, maybe you can crack that wild card spot and get in there, and hey, you probably won't do much once you get in there.
But you're not very good.
No, and honestly, why make that spot? Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't think you're going to do anything, but you look at
go get swept against the 3.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it would be
might be
very
fate
quick
for anyone.
It probably will be, but I think at least maybe the Mets have enough talent on that team that they could make a series interesting. But you look at how it ends for the Mets. You've got a series getting started tonight against San Diego at home against the Nationals, and then next week at Chicago and at Miami. I feel pretty good that the Mets are gonna keep that spot.
Keep a sharp eye on this. Milwaukee trying to keep home field advantage all the way through.
Yeah.
And that means 1, 2, 6, and 7 come Fall Classic.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and the Brewers by far the story of the season, what they have done. And
let me amend that. Please tell me it is that it's not slotted year to year, one league then the next.
No. That's you've got it right. We haven't made that type of change just yet.
Well, Brian, I don't think I'm wrong to stop and ask with
nowadays,
a man named Fred.
Yeah, nowadays you never know what to expect. I think we could see a change any day about anything, really.
I'm calling it now on another topic.
Okay.
With the UCLA and Virginia Tech firings, those players all have 30 days to get out.
That's right.
They can't get out and go play somewhere right now.
No.
I mean, you can't be at UCLA and then be the free safety tomorrow at USC.
No.
They have to sit out the rest of the year. There's real concern at UCLA that it could be such en masse they have to cancel games the rest of the year.
I mean,
not even field a team. At UCLA,
yeah, Brett. I was thinking about this when I saw the news that they were making the coaching change. It's sad where UCLA has gotten to as a program.
School hasn't even started. The fall term, I don't even know if they call it that, but whatever they call it at Westwood, has not started. It starts maybe not even Monday.
Holy cow.
Maybe a week from Monday.
It certainly could be. But yeah, that's what they've been talking about since school hasn't started yet, that there's only a couple schools out there that plays FBS football where, a guy could transfer and get registered for classes. But no, I mean, everything I've heard about the UCLA program
if they
right
did
now,
that, shouldn't that be immediate expulsion from the Pac-10? I'm sorry, Big Ten.
Big Ten. I mean, I think it's got to be something done, because I mean that's insane. That's crazy. No other schools has that happen to them. Even the bottom dwellers of the Big Ten, that are going to be the bottom dwellers of the Big Ten every year, they're not canceling games because they can't field a team. I mean, it's bad, and everything I've heard is that it is really bad shape, from boosters to NIL money to, I mean, anything that comes around with this athletic department. Really, really bad. So I would not be surprised at all if we saw something like that, and it would be really scary to see something like that again with a brand like UCLA. But let's go ahead and wrap up this first hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're going to talk more college football. Brent Beard from First Coast News in Jacksonville, he'll join us. We'll talk a ton of college football. That comes your way next.
is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
It's the Drive into Fall event on now at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2025 Dodge Hornet GT. More power and performance than Honda CR-V in both gas and hybrid models. Buy Hornet for $24,252 or $281.98 a month. 2025 Wrangler 2-door Sport. More off-road capability and quicker open-air option than Ford Bronco Outer Banks. $7,036 off MSRP. And bad boy power in 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 5.7 box. $11,631 off MSRP or $467.42 a month, plus 1.9% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat online. GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
Ram 1500 SN 711,999 MSRP 50,710. Wrangler SW 546 086 MSRP 45,540. Hornet GTS 38 460 78 MSRP 32,085. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/31/25 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20-plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
We're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report in Memphis Market.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good afternoon. T-Dot still out here trying to finish up a couple of wrecks. It's been slow on and off. 55 northbound up by Macklemore. It seemed like it started all because of some work earlier on the 55 bridge headed back towards West Memphis. A little extra time up through there between Macklemore and Crump on 55 going northbound. Weimer's Jewelry, your diamond engagement ring headquarters right here in the Memphis area. Stop by and see them and shop local and save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Tuesday afternoon. We got to talk some college football, and we do it every Tuesday at this time with Brent Beard.
College football talk every Tuesday with Brent Beard, Heisman voter, and on Twitter X at Brent Beard. SEC, ACC, AAC. We talk it all with Brent. Here's Brent Beard with Bryant and Brett.
Brent Beard joins us now to talk some college football and a lot to get to. Brent, let's start with some of these games from the SEC, and let's start with one of the bigger games of the weekend, Georgia and Tennessee. Tennessee starts out really fast. They go up 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. Then from there, it was really kind of Georgia getting back in the game, and then at the end, Tennessee has the opportunity to win it, misses the field goal. We go to overtime. Georgia wins the game. What were your takeaways from what you saw in that matchup?
Georgia had 0 false starts, which is one thing that helped them. They went 75 yards. 6-8 of those were rushing, which you don't see that much today with that. And Gunner was 2 of 4 on throws down the field, 2 of 2 on fourth down conversions, and Peyton Woodring made all 3 of his field goals, 2, but to your point, could have gone the other way. I mean, they gave up almost 500 yards of total offense. So it was and Tennessee only rushed for 125 yards, which I thought was interesting. But look, that thing was looked like Tennessee was going to run away with it. Georgia got control of the game, were able to win it, so it ended up being a huge victory for them.
And Brent, we talked about it a lot yesterday, and with you, I want to say the same thing. I said yesterday, you score 41 at home, you're up 8 with under 4 minutes to play.
Really?
When are you breaking the streak? And you know what it reminds me a lot of, Brent, and we saw it up close when we saw where Tennessee for a long time thought they had never win an Alabama game, then they won it forever, and Alabama thought they would never win again, and now they mostly have controlled, except for the 2 at Neyland. That's a big 2 for Josh Heupel. I don't want to minimize that, but now they got to go on the road next year and break it between the hedges. And Gunnar Stockton, in your notes today, great notes today, 9 of 10 on blitzes. Wow. I mean, he was feasting. That's great O-line play, but that's great recognition of the hot receiver.
And look, Brent, could he have done that last year? I don't think he could have.
I don't know that they would have asked him to.
Probably not. Well, that's a good point too. So he didn't have to. They brought him along.
But if asked to do it, no, I don't think he could have done it last year, Brent.
Yeah, I agree totally. Yes.
Another big game that Brett was at on Saturday was the Arkansas and Ole Miss game, and now a lot of people here in Memphis, they were watching that game because now Arkansas will face the Tigers this Saturday. What do you make of this Arkansas team this year? Because offensively, now we saw them do it against Ole Miss. Kind of going into that, you didn't really know would that hold up against stiffer competition, but this offense for Arkansas has looked really, really good through 3 weeks. Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. I mean, they've got steady play at quarterback. I mean, they are, and look, if they, Brett was there, he would know if if Arkansas doesn't fumble that ball late, what happens?
They win.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
42-41.
Yeah, and they looked. And again, I understand Ole Miss winning. I still think they're the better team, but the reality is and I hope that doesn't run Arkansas out of gas for a game or two, and they better not, because you've got Memphis coming up, and that's going to be that's a big game for them, is it not?
Mm-hmm. It can't run them out of gas, because I would say the most favorable Arkansas fans, W's and L's, they had Ole Miss as a W, and they have Memphis as a W. Well, we know that one's not going to be, so you have to get that one. You get that one against Memphis, then the natural, and I don't blame anybody, because it is Notre Dame, the hype that will surround that, then you get all charged back up, and I think you can honestly say, if you're an Arkansas fan, of one stinking play and we're undefeated.
Yeah, you really could. That Notre Dame game is going to be fascinating in many ways, particularly because Notre Dame is just, I'm not going to say they're playing poorly, but they're certainly not where they want to be. I mean, even at 2 losses.
Boy, they get everybody's best shot, don't they?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. But certainly at the same time, Arkansas can't afford to be looking ahead and not deal with Memphis, because if they do, they could lose that game.
Yeah. They absolutely could. Over in the ACC, Clemson, they lose on the road against Georgia Tech. Now, a lot of people talking about this Clemson team, 1-2 on the season with losses against Georgia Tech and LSU. That one win, they were trailing at halftime against Troy. What's going on with Clemson this season?
Well, I think a lot of it too, but frankly, is who they're playing right now, as much as anything else. I mean, you've got an LSU team for the first time in a while. They've actually got a defense. Blake Baker's done a great job with that club. And listen, this Georgia Tech team is no joke. Guys, did you see this? 12 underdog wins during Brent Key's tenure since 2022. That is. That's saying a lot. That is a tough club that will take you down to the end, and they're a point now to where what was that, a 55-yard field goal, or whatever that was.
He nailed it.
My stars, when Brett and I were growing up, and this is not ageist. You get the point. When Brett and I were growing up, man, if you hit a field goal, Brett, from 35 to 40 to 45 yards.
45 was pretty good.
It sure was. Listen, we thought they kicked the thing from the other goal line, and now you've got. Listen, are we headed for routine? And I mean routine 65 to 70 yarders in the next few years?
Now, Brent, that was early 70s when we were still trying to, Brian, you're really going to laugh at this.
Oh, man.
When we were getting the flat-toed kicking shoe on.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That was boy,
sounds like a
high,
time.
Brian, at high school football, never, ever would the shoe get on in time to either not have to burn a timeout or get a delay a game. Never, ever in high school would it.
Well, does Brian remember, and he may have been just a sparkle in his parents' eye, but, I mean, I remember when, even on the NFL level, when Dempsey, help me on this, Brett, when Dempsey hit that, when he was with the Saints and they won, how long was that thing? That was
63
something, wasn't it?
63.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah.
And listen, we thought he kicked it from the moon.
and it felt like it. And then Alex Karras threw his helmet as far as the field goal was made in disgust after the Lions had lost. Now, Brent, we did hit that stretch in the 70s when we went soccer style, and really in the Southwest Conference with Tony Franklin and Russell Erxleben wasn't soccer style, but Steve Little was. They're bombing them from way downtown because every team's managers had an agreement with the other team. Let us kick this kicking ball. And I was told that they would insert into the game their kicking ball, that if you got that thing in the air, it would fly forever.
Hey, Brett, how much air were in those balls? I mean, what?
Well, they had really been corrupted. They'd really been kicked a lot, and they were old, and they would fly like a bird off the foot. And then we kind of modified a little bit. And both Russell Ertzleben and Steve Little drafted way too high by the Saints and the Cardinals, respectively. Mm-hmm. And then they got to the NFL and had to kick a real football, and it wrecked their careers. But he nailed it. And the announcers nailed the amount of time, and that they had watched it practice the day before in Georgia Tech's final walkthrough of how much time they needed to sprint out, get set, get snap and hold, and he nailed it.
Well, look, and I know this we're SEC-centric, but I give Georgia Tech a lot of credit. I mean, what they have done, that is a rough and tough bunch. Should have beat Georgia last year. Frankly, weren't able to do it. Give Georgia credit for that, but at the same time, I mean, I'm being facetious, but I'm also being realistic here. I mean, can Tech hold on to Brent Key for much longer?
Yes, I think they can, because he's a Tech guy, and really wanted it. Now, my biggest question around Georgia Tech and around the state of the game from Friday night through NFL, Brent, we're running these quarterbacks, and we're playing so many games, and in high school the playoffs last for almost as long as the season lasted.
Really
College is now up into the high teens. The NFL, at 17, going to 18. These quarterbacks are battered and bruised. We're asking them to do things you cannot do, and Tech runs Haynes King too much.
They do. That's a great point. He's effective, but at some point, do you begin to wear down? And look, Brent's got a really good point to that. And college,
you can't be effective in the hot tub.
No, you really can't. But the point, the point to that is, and look, I love football, and I love a lot of football, but the reality of it is, when your playoffs in high school and in college, when they're going basically a month, I know everybody don't play a month, but you get the point.
Somebody that wins it does.
Yeah, absolutely. But at some point, are we going to, instead of adding more games, are we going to have to take a real look at what we're doing? That's probably thought on another day, but it is starting to rise up.
Yeah. Brent, I'm telling you, if somebody would commit to rough and tumble, ground and pound, I know it's going to be hard to recruit because we're not producing those in high school. We're producing 7-on-7 and 5 wides and a lot of quarterback power and quarterback sweeps and things like that. And it's why it shocks me that Alabama can't run it, because you tell me, I don't think the state of Alabama has gone the full flag football on Friday night that everybody else has. It still depends on some running game, doesn't it?
There's no doubt about that. Oh, yeah,
right, then why didn't Bama have a running back then?
Well, the number one running back has been hurt. He'll be back for Georgia.
They used to have 4. How come they don't have 2?
That's a good point. And the reality of this is, guys, and Alabama for instance of this, they've got behemoths on the line of scrimmage, and you would think that would really help their running game. I'm not saying the offensive line is bad, by any stretch.
It's all technique. It's all steps and drops.
It really is.
And gobbledygook instead of lining up and hitting that blocking sled and making a hole.
Oh yeah. It's your feet position. It's where your arms are positioned. All that. Yeah. It has become a lot more scientific technique than it is just pure power as it used to be.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the ACC, not a great show for Virginia Tech on Saturday night. They lost to Old Dominion, and it resulted in Brent Pry being fired on Sunday. What do you make of the state of Virginia Tech? I mean, Brett made this point last week about, that atmosphere used to be the best in the country, and now the way that team has been playing, it is far from that. What do you make of where Virginia Tech is at right now, and who do you think some candidates for that position are?
They're not where they need to be. I mean, when you lose to Old Dominion, what in the world does that say about your program? My goodness gracious alive. And they've got NC State this week on the road, which is certainly not going to help them at all. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. Would Beamer leave South Carolina and go there? I know they need a lot of help at South Carolina, but with that, and I get if you're in the ACC, you're probably going to have a chance to win easier than you will the ACC right now. I still believe that's a pretty good job. When Daddy Beamer was there,
he made it a good job though.
He did.
Went 1-10, I think, the first year.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, to me, Beamer's probably the first one to turn it down. And my question is, guys, would you be better off? Would the road to getting better and be where he wants to be? Would he be able to get there quicker at South Carolina, or if he went to Virginia Tech, and it took him 3 or 4 years to get where he wants to go?
Brent, I get it all the time from a good friend of mine that listens to a lot of this show, and he tells me, Brett, one thing I cannot stand is y'all are always firing coaches. I go, well, it's not us. It's the conversation.
Really?
We didn't fire the coach at UCLA.
No,
we didn't fire the coach
not.
at Virginia Tech. The coaching carousel started extraordinarily early this year. We just respond to it. No, I'm not out for anybody's job except for maybe Hunter Yurachek's. But in this area this weekend, there are two coaches, and what Bryant and I have called the American versus SEC challenge this weekend in our neighborhood, Ryan Silverfield and John Sumrall.
Yep.
I'm going to say it right now. If Ryan Silverfield defeats Arkansas on Saturday, Hunter Yurachek should go get a verbal agreement with him before he gets on the bus and leaves Memphis.
And listen,
if he's smart enough to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
But he's got his MBA.
Yeah, Lord. And have a quick drying ink.
And for John Sumrall, I mean, the options are really good.
They really are.
And I knew John pretty well when he was linebackers coach at Ole Miss. We never had one conversation about future coaching prospects and where it was going to go. He was tunnel vision, and I mean, football coach, tough guy. One of my favorite things he would say on defense, you got to get them around the head and get them on the ground.
Right. Oh yeah,
and that's the kind of football that he played and his teams play. He played at Kentucky. He's from Alabama. He's been at Troy. He's winning at Tulane. His options, and I think Ryan Silverfield's options are really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely. The problem we're seeing now is and look, the pendulum is going to swing back and forth in football. It's just a matter of time. But what Brett and I saw growing up was you had guys that really stayed too long, and they were given what 4, 5, 6 years. In the last 3 years of their contract.
Well, there was a reason, Brent. They also were the AD.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, really.
They weren't going to fire themselves.
Yeah. But the problem now is you're not going to get that because the competition is too good. And I understand that. Now I will say that there are some guys in instances. Florida State obviously was on the rebound after a rough year last year. particularly if they beat Miami. That would be humongous for them. But look, and I understand your friend's problem thinking that we're firing coaches. Well, coaches are firing themselves, and the expectations of these schools are the same thing. They're seeing everybody else win, and their school lose, and in this day and age, they're just not going to put up with it for any length of time.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see what South Carolina and also what UCLA, what they end up doing with their head coaching positions. Pretty surprising. Like Brett said, this early in the season, we're talking about 2 Power 4 job openings becoming open. But a lot of fun games this weekend. Brent, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's always a fun segment when you could talk for an hour.
That's right.
Like in
5 hours.
On what we can do.
We had to.
Yeah, well, Brent, I literally looked up and I saw that we were out of time. I mean, it felt like we'd been talking for 10 minutes.
I get it.
Thank you, friend.
Enjoyed it, guys.
Thanks, Brent.
You got Brent Beard with us every Tuesday talking college football. And I said it a little bit facetiously, but it's true, Brian, a long time ago in college football in this area. Well, Coach Murphy was AD and football coach. Yeah. Coach Broyles was AD and football coach. I'm pretty sure at Arkansas State, Coach Davidson was both. Coach Vaught at Ole Miss. I don't remember at Mississippi State, them having a football coach that was also AD. And I don't remember it at Tennessee. I don't even think somebody out there with Tennessee help me. I don't even think General Neyland had both. I'm going to have to be checked on that. But they had more of a line at Texas. Darrell Royal. They weren't going to fire themselves. They could stay as long as they wanted, and they knew where every penny was going.
I believe that. But yeah, you're not
and
making.
It was going predominantly to football.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're the decision maker, you're not making.
Pat Dye at Auburn was both.
Oh yeah, but you're not making good decisions if you're the athletic director and the head coach, and you decide, you know what, I think I'm going to fire myself.
Yeah.
I don't think, or maybe you're smarter. Maybe you realize that maybe you should only be doing one thing.
I tell you one that did leave. Maybe a smidge too early, but he followed that old idiom of a little bit early is better than one day too late.
Absolutely.
And Coach Broyles still had plenty in him, but he was wanting to do other things. He was wanting to run the department. He was wanting to modernize the department. And as much as I picked at Hunter Yurchek and I picked at Jeff Long as well, this is showing. Yeah. And I said it when he retired from being AD and was kind of advisor. Biggest shoes in the history of ADs to fill, and now 0 for 2 with the 2 that have tried it at Arkansas. Replacing Frank Broyles as AD has been impossible.
Yeah, it's a good point. It really has not worked at all. Quickly, talking about Virginia Tech, I pulled up ESPN did a story of kind of what's next for Virginia Tech. The 5 candidates they have for the job: South Carolina's Shane Beamer, South Florida's Alex Golish, James Madison's Bob Chesney, Southern Miss's Charles Huff, and Memphis's Ryan Silverfield on the list for potential candidates.
Well, and the 2 that haven't worked well after Frank Beamer are good football coaches.
Oh, yeah.
And I know both okay, Justin Fuente and Brent Pry.
Absolutely.
It may not be able to be done by anybody other than Frank Beamer.
It was a good point by you. I mean, this program was a program that everyone viewed very highly, but it was Frank Beamer that created that program and put it on that pedestal. And you're right, it might just be one of those things where it worked for one guy, and it's really hard to do again.
There were a lot of swings and misses at Virginia Tech before Frank Beamer from good coaches. One of them was one handpicked, suggested, basically hired by the Bear that he loved in Jimmy Sharp in the 70s. And I think I'd have to look, but I think Vince Dooley's brother swung and missed at Virginia Tech. I'd have to look that up though, but I know Jimmy Sharp didn't make it out very well there.
Yeah, no, I mean it especially right now. I mean it feels like it could be a pretty tough job. Looking around, so kind of where they're at right now in the ACC, kind of schools around them, it feels like it could be a tough job to really find a lot of success. But we'll see where they go now. But we got to get to another break, and when we return, this is going to be a lot of fun. We've seen a whole week, another week of the NFL with Monday Night Football wrapping everything up. We got to get to some reactions, proper reactions and overreactions after week 2. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
September is National Preparedness Month, and if you're anything like me, I'm always asking myself why. Why would the government dedicate an entire month to this? I think you and I both know the real reason. It's because when things go sideways, you're on your own. FEMA all but admits they can't save everyone, and their response time just this year has been horrendous. So instead of sitting around waiting for someone else to step in, I'm actually going to do something about it. I found a reliable way to get everything I need to weather any storm. Emergency food with enough calories to keep me strong, along with water filtration, power, cooking, heating. I get it all from My Patriot Supply. They're the #1 trusted source for preparedness items. They actually manufacture a ton of their stuff right here in the US, and they've got over 90,000 5-star reviews. When it comes to my family, I'm trusting the best. Go to mypatriotsupply.com now to protect what is yours. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Don't miss the 53rd Annual Pink Palace Crafts Fair at Audubon Park, September 26th through the 28th. Bring the whole family and enjoy 3 days of food, live music, and of course, shopping for one-of-a-kind arts and crafts from across the Mid-South. It's a Memphis tradition you don't want to miss. The Pink Palace Crafts Fair, September 26th through the 28th at Audubon Park. Sponsored by First Horizon Foundation, Friends of the Pink Palace, and your friends at Sports 56. This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Starting to build with more volume on all the major outbound routes, especially trying to get down through Midtown. Right now, busy, but it's moving on 240 South and South Parkway all the way down to Norris as you continue south of Memphis. Moving right now down through DeSoto County. However, we have seen radar today south of Memphis on the interstate. Be careful. Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Stop by and see them at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together.
We welcome you back. This hour brought to you every day by the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. That's Landers Ford. Make it your trusted destination, a vehicle that fits any lifestyle, seamless shopping experience, from vehicle choice to financing and service. From the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150 to the adventurous Bronco, every vehicle built Ford tough. Ford F-150, that's America's best-selling truck. SUVs like the Ford Escape, the Ford Explorer, Ford Expedition, Ford Broncos, EVs, hybrids. For the future, they're ready. Transparency and professionalism and long-term support at Landers Ford's what you get. Oil changes, tires rotated. Go online and schedule when it suits you the best. It'll be done quickly to meet your busy schedule. Landers Ford, very active in our community in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Avenue, or you can go to LandersFordMemphis.com. And last weekend, the Ford dealers were the sponsors of the game between Ole Miss and Arkansas. They got bang for their buck. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
So let's get to some predictions, Brett. Overreactions, proper reactions. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Landon. Are you ready, Landon?
All right, let's start with
Since you're leading NFL picks, you have the key.
So.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah, I definitely am ready. I'm going to start with my normal reactions just because, overreactions, I feel like we need to save that for a special occasion.
Sure.
My first normal reaction is I think the Lions are fine with these new coordinators. I know there's a few questions with both their offensive and defensive coordinators leaving, and you kind of saw a little bit of effect of that in week 1, but then, it's kind of a double-sided coin. It is still the Bears, but also the Lions looked really, really good out there. I think Jared Goff looked really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown still looked really good.
You touched every base, though. It is the Bears.
Yeah, so it is the Bears. And I think, it is still pretty early in the NFL season, but I think so far the Lions still look like the Lions, but also the Bears still look like the Bears. But I'm not counting that as my second normal reaction. That's just the reality of life, is the Bears are the Bears. Number 2, sticking with the NFC, I'm going to say that the Packers look like a top 5 team on both sides of the ball. They look like a very dominant team. Jordan Love really looks like he's doing well, and that defense, even with the addition of Michael Parsons, even though he only has a couple of sacks, 2 sacks in 2 games, is still phenomenal. But all around, their secondary is looking really good. Their defensive line, their linebackers are flying to the ball, and their offense is producing really, really well. That tight end had an explosion last week. Tucker Kraft went absolutely off the rails. So Packers looking like a top 5 team. Hopefully they can continue that success, but they look really, really good. My third normal reaction could actually kind of teeter on a little bit of an overreaction on my part, but it's going to be a normal reaction for me.
Okay.
Cam Ward looks really, really good. But Brian Callahan should be on a hot seat if he's not already as far as it comes to coaching with the Titans. He's 19 games in, and he has a total of 3 wins. Yes, they did really, really good in the offseason as far as their drafting and making some moves, but to only have 3 wins and to look where the Titans are right now, we made a lot of different moves. We got a new OC, new DC, new owner. We've got all these new pieces. The only 2 things that are remaining are our owner, who's never going to sell the team, and our head coach, Brian Callahan. So you look at his track record right now, it's not looking very good. Granted, maybe we give him a little bit more weeks because he was dealing with a guy named Will Levis. He was dealing with a lot of people leaving the organization. So I'm saying, all things considered, a normal reaction for me is that I think Brian Callahan should be considered to be on a hot seat, if he's not already. Do I go ahead and go to my overreactions, or are we going to get everybody's?
Let's get everybody's proper reaction, Brian.
All right, I'll go now with my proper reactions. And maybe I don't know how to play the game. Landon said all these sound like predictions, but I think they are my reaction from the week that make me think this. So that's how I'm going to play the game, at least. Y'all tell me if I'm playing the game wrong, and I'll fix
Play it however you want.
There's no rules.
I guess that's
right.
true. I guess that's true. All right, my first one. Mike McDaniel, after what I've seen the last 2 weeks, he will not be the coach of the Miami Dolphins a year from now. And I think Tyreek Hill will not be on this team after the trade deadline.
Oh, big broom coming to Miami.
Let's start with Tyreek Hill. His body language out there looks awful. I mean, there were a couple of plays. Now, it was late in the game. I get it. Emotions were running high for the Dolphins. They were losing. This was a game at home that was and did make them 0-2, but he just looked completely out of it. He looked frustrated. We know how the season ended last year. I just don't think this team is going to go much longer with him on the team because he really hadn't been great
you
for
have to
them.
have an appetite for Tua.
Yeah, you do, and he has not looked sharp at all to start the season, and didn't look sharp last year. And then the head coach, Mike McDaniel, people in Miami are already getting frustrated with him. There was a plane that had a banner that read "Fire Greer."
Oh, plane banners!
Fire
I love
McDaniel.
them.
Oh yeah, talking about general manager Chris Greer and obviously head coach Mike McDaniel.
No, I really detest them and the people that bankroll them.
Well, yeah, they can make fun stories every once in a while, but at this point it tells me that Miami fans are not happy with Mike McDaniel, not happy with the way he is coaching this team. Because Brett, let's not forget, a couple years ago we were talking about this Dolphins team and what they had built up. Of this is going to be a year in year out playoff team. They can go on a real run and maybe make some noise in Miami, and they have not come anywhere close to making any noise in the postseason. So my first proper reaction, Mike McDaniel, he has not done anything good in Miami, and I don't think he'll be there much longer. Reaction number 2 for me, the Colts are fun. They're 2-0. Danny Dimes, I don't know where this has been. Maybe it was the Giants the whole time, but he looks good out there at the quarterback position for the Colts.
Can it last? You just said it's been fun through 2-0. That's all you said.
These are just reactions, Brett. What I've seen in 2 weeks, they're fun. Jonathan Taylor running the ball. They have looked really, really fun. And Brett, if things can hold, look at the way the schedule breaks for them. Landon, cover your ears. At the Titans this weekend, a very winnable game. On the road against the Rams, that's going to be the tough one. Then you've got Raiders at home, I think winnable after what I saw last night.
At home, yeah.
And then the Cardinals at home, I think very winnable. So,
yeah.
I mean, we could be looking at a 5-1 team going into Week 7, and then we're talking about a
Would
really
you take
fun
4-2?
team. You absolutely would take 4-2. I mean, this is a fun Colts team. They've been fun to watch. My third and final proper reaction, Brett, I'm going to say it here today. Brandon Aubrey will break the field goal record this season with a 70-plus yard field goal this season. And some might say that's an overreaction, but I think it is a proper reaction.
It is proper.
Because it's going to happen, and it's going to be him that breaks it because his leg is massive. That field goal he made over the weekend against the Giants, that could have gone in for 72. I mean, I think he's going to do it this year.
Net.
Oh, it was awesome. It was incredible.
I mean, get to midfield, and it's automatic.
It really is. I mean, say whatever you want about the
now, they do have a kicking ball, but it's not tricked up.
No, but say whatever you want to say about the rest of the Cowboys team. One thing you can't say, field goal kicking. They've got that under wraps. I mean, it's fine. Field goal kicking is perfect.
All right, here's my proper reaction. Buffalo's the team to beat.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's obvious to everyone.
Yeah.
Secondly, Landon, you hit on it. Jordan Love is back to playoffs 2 years ago, end of the year playoff stuff.
Really good.
Really, they should have gotten to the Super Bowl that year. In the last one, Brian, I'm sorry, Cowboys are a joke.
Brett should be 2-0. I mean, you know.
I don't know about that.
It should be. I mean, CD makes a couple catches.
I would say more 0-2 than 2-0. What would you say, Landon?
You can make that argument the other way as well.
I think 1-1 is just fine.
All right, extreme overreaction. Boy, this is when people hear this, and I get that text. Y'all just trying to fire coaches.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I did fire a coach with my proper reaction, so we'll see.
We'll
see where the overreactions go.
All right, Landon.
My number one is that my biggest overreaction is the Chiefs will miss the playoffs entirely this year. I'm saying it's an overreaction because
remember they were 2-2 last year before they got hot.
They were, and I'm saying it's an overreaction on my end because this is an overreaction. I don't think the Chiefs, even though they are 0-2 right now, they're still the Chiefs. They're going to find somehow, miraculously, they're going to find ways to win games. So even if it is a wild card spot, and I think that's where I actually had them in our predictions for the AFC.
Early exit, I had.
Yeah, absolutely. So I still think they make it, but an overreaction right now is that they miss it. Right now, and I'm going to preface this as right now, overreaction number 2 is that Jaden Daniels won't be a top 10 quarterback this year. Commanders, kind of on the edge right now, not looking really good. But granted, their first 2 games that they played have been really good competition. And if you looked at my normal reaction with the Packers and Brett's normal reaction with the Packers, those are really good teams that they're playing against. So I think it's going to take a little bit for Jaden to get back in his groove. Always on the watch for a sophomore slump. We've seen it with C.J. Stroud. We saw it. Who's the other rookie quarterback? He's escaping my mind that we said hit a sophomore slump.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, you said Stroud. I forgot who the other one was.
Yeah, because there was 2 that we said
from
hit a
last
slump. Anyways,
whoever it was.
Jaden's on the watch list for that this year, and it's always kind of to be expected with these quarterbacks. So him not being a top 10 quarterback, definitely an overreaction right now. My third one is that Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy in San Francisco right now. He led them to a win, and a lot of people say you can just plug in whoever you want in that San Francisco offense, but there's a reason why Brock Purdy stayed with the team, and there's a reason why Mac Jones has been switching around. So maybe a bit of an overreaction. I don't know, but right now Mac Jones looks pretty good as a 49er.
Yeah, looked good in that first game. All right, I'll go with my overreactions next. My first overreaction, forget the rest of the season. Packers are winning the Super Bowl. I mean, what they have already showed me through 2 games, they are by far the best team in all of football, and they will win the Super Bowl. And, I mean, it's both sides, offense and defense, really, really clicking. My second overreaction, watching the first 2 games of the season, Travis Hunter, pick a side. I mean, the playing both sides in the NFL, it's not going to work. It hasn't worked. We saw the increase in snaps on defense in week 2, but still, he's not a factor in the offensive passing game. He's only gotten a couple of passes thrown his way defensively. I think they've got to make a decision in Jacksonville of which side is he going to play primarily. Will it be as a pass catcher, as a receiver, or will it be as a defensive back? But I do not think he can play both sides of the ball in the NFL. And my third one, the Panthers. I talked about the Packers winning the Super Bowl. The Panthers will not win a game this entire season. But I was watching Red Zone on Sunday, and every single time...
0-17?
0-17. Every single time in the first quarter that they threw up the Panthers and Cardinals game, it was a turnover. I mean, Bryce Young was throwing it around. He was fumbling it. Panthers don't win a single game this season.
Whoa. That is an overreaction. My first overreaction, Kyle Shanahan's so good, Landon, that was really good submission you made. Kyle Shanahan's so good, he could win with Dak Prescott.
Wow. Dak Prescott should be 2-0, Brett. I mean,
that was just rude.
That was rude. That was uncalled for. I thought you were going to say, he could win with me at quarterback, because I think he could. But
Second overreaction, we'll ask Bo Marchand about this one. Aaron Rodgers will not be the starting quarterback at the end of the year for the Steelers. It could end really ingloriously.
Yeah, it really could.
I mean,
to see it.
Leave the building before the end of the season.
Really could.
And my third overreaction, not at the end of the year, not by the rules committee in the offseason. In season, Goodell outlaws the tush push.
Ooh, I like that, Brett. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's the hardest play to officiate. They're moving early every time.
And they're all,
every time.
They're all lining up off sides. I mean, they've all got their upper bodies, their helmets past the line of scrimmage. I mean, that would be crazy, though, if it happened mid-season and we saw a change like that. Those are really good, Brett. I like those overreactions from you. I liked all of our reactions and overreactions today.
Fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let's up your life with Let's.
Surprise the family with a new club car and experience the best golf cart in the industry. A new golf cart is perfect for cruising the neighborhood, enjoying yourself at the lake, turning heads on the course, and just having something reliable to use around the yard. Ladd's has you covered with new and used golf cars. The new Club Car Onward, available in electric or gas and a variety of colors and features. Ladd's goes beyond the green. Whitten and I-40 or online at lads.net.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much. As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report in Memphis market.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today is the number 30, and it has to do with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We talked about that game earlier in the comeback by Tampa Bay in the game-winning drive that Baker Mayfield led. It was the second time he has done that now to start the season. He did it as well in Week 1 when Tampa Bay came back and won against Atlanta. He became the second NFL quarterback in the last 30 years to lead a game-winning touchdown drive that began with under 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in regulation in back-to-back games. The only other quarterback to do that in the last 30 years, it was Brett Favre who did it on September 26th and October 10th in 1999. Now, the only difference between Brett Favre and Baker Mayfield, if you hear those dates, is Brett Favre had an off week in between September 26th and October 10th. Baker Mayfield just did it in the first 2 weeks of the season, back-to-back weeks, so very impressive stuff from Baker Mayfield.
Brian, what have I, through the years, whether I'm right or wrong, I believe this, if nothing else. I have no doubt about this, but what have I said is the biggest, fairest knock on SEC football?
Oh, I can't think right now. What?
That it doesn't bat 1,000.
That's right.
That it's
yes.
not perfect.
Yes.
It is not perfect.
No.
Nothing is.
No.
That's why my big number is 921.
Okay.
That's the SEC's win percentage in non-conference games so far this year. They're 35-3. Yeah, Alabama lost Florida State.
Sure did.
Pretty ugly.
Yeah.
And Texas lost at Ohio State. Wasn't ugly, but they lost. Ohio State clearly better.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly better.
Yeah.
South Florida defeated Florida in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
We know those things occurred. But we also know in there is LSU over Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, and everybody was on upset watch for Auburn and Baylor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Bama over Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma over Michigan.
Yep.
A&M over Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Mizzou and KU renewing that rivalry.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, I mean,
35-3, 921 winning percentage. The next best is the Big Ten at 41-8, 837. They only have 5 games remaining. The SEC's got 26 remaining, and it's cupcake field. I know that. I recognize that, especially at the end of the year when you throw in Mercer and Eastern Illinois and all that garbage. Coastal Carolina shouldn't be playing those people. You shouldn't. Samford sure shouldn't be playing FCS. But 26 to go. Third is the Big 12, 33-9, 786. ACC 29-14, 674 percentage. American, this is pretty good, I think. 24-12, 667.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's really good.
Ticker 2 higher for the American. 18 to go.
Yeah.
And 2 big ones in the neighborhood.
Well, I was about to say, you've already got some pretty big wins in there if you're the American. If you look around at what some of these teams have done, you still have some more on deck.
So 921 for the SEC.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. I'd take that.
And I don't know that there's a national championship team in it.
No, we've talked about that. I mean, it is a really good conference, but yeah, I don't know if it has that one team that can go for it all and win it all.
Who would you really, I guess Georgia now after Saturday, heat of the moment?
Yeah, I guess so.
You'd hang the banner too?
I guess they have to be the leader in the clubhouse right now, but it's not a great lead. It's not a firm lead, I would say.
Do we trust LSU?
No. I like this LSU team. I certainly love Garrett Nussmeier, but I don't really trust them yet, and I don't trust Brian Kelly in big-time moments and big-time games.
We sure don't trust Texas, and we will never trust Texas A&M.
No. Give Mike Elko a couple more years, and he continues to do what he's doing, then maybe that changes. But yeah, right now I don't really trust Texas.
You know who I'd like to see in the battle royale of the 2 crazy guys that have that look like they could tear the whole house down?
Well, I know one's Mike Elko
versus Brent Venables.
That's a good one. That's good.
Man, it looks like somebody could sneeze and set him off.
Well, I can't get over that.
There's a great story about him in his upbringing. It was pretty hard scrabble, and I'm just telling the story as it has been told and written. I mean, Google's free for everyone. That his mother had an issue with a man that was not his father, and one thing led to another, and it grew abusive. And Brent Venables was about 15 or 16 and whipped a grown man.
Oh, wow. All right. So, yeah. I definitely don't want to mess with him. I'll tell you this, Brad. I don't know. I tried to look up. I don't know anything about Oklahoma's baseball coach, but I know their football coach and I know their basketball coach. I don't want to mess with either of those guys. And Porter Moser I always say he looks like a super villain. And I certainly.
Oh, he's really a good guy.
Yeah,
was loved in Little Rock when he was at ULR.
Yeah, but he looks.
And at Loyola. Kevin Sweeney loved some Porter Moser.
Oh, I love Porter Moser. He's a heck of a ball coach. But every time I see him on the sideline, I'm like, something about him. He just looks like a super villain or something. I mean, they do have two unique
Gene
guys.
Cady scary look.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, something.
Gene Cady really was scary.
Well, yeah, but Porter Moser not. But he could play the role if he needed to. So but no, I don't want to mess with Brent Venables at all, especially when you tell me that type of story. I'll let everything play out for him. But before we get to a break, let me remind you, perfect opportunity this week or this weekend to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it. If you need a new pair of jeans, well, Frontier Western is the place you've got to go. They got all the brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. Check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dam Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing, it's lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we're talking more NFL. Bo Marchant, he joins us next.
At Sunrise, we understand that you can't always take the time to come inside and eat breakfast or lunch, no matter how fast the service at Sunrise is. So we recommend calling in your order and swinging by to pick it up. Just like when you eat at Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East on Poplar, we promise your food will be hot, fresh, and delicious every time. No matter where you enjoy your Sunrise, it's important to us that you get the very best. Sunrise is committed to always having the highest quality food anywhere. Never settle for anything but the very best when Sunrise is available.
Here's what sets NST Law apart. They don't just work in Memphis, they ride for Memphis. From school fundraisers to courtroom battles, they show up where it matters. And when someone in this city gets hurt, NST goes toe-to-toe with insurance giants. No fear, no favors. It's not just the law to them, it's loyalty. And if you ever need backup after a crash, NST's got your back. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or check out nstlaw.com.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass. This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's starting a little bit heavy at times over here on 240 up by Mill Branch as that traffic starts to pick up pretty good now. On 240 getting on to 385 Billmore Parkway, it's increased with that volume through the Midtown area just in the last 10-15 minutes on 240 south at South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Stop by and see them. 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Tuesday afternoon. You know what we do at this time on Tuesdays. We talk the NFL, and we do it with Bo Marchant.
National Football League talk every Tuesday with Bo Marchant, covering the NFL Draft at collegetopro.com and the NFL Draft Bible, covering the Steelers for Sports Illustrated, living and running in Eastern Ohio, and on Twitter X at Bo Marchant. Here's Bo with Bryant and Brett.
Bo Marchant joins us now to talk the NFL. Bo, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to week 2 in the NFL, but let's start with the team that you cover very closely, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They take a loss at home against the Seahawks, 31-17. Not a lot of offense for the Steelers in this one, and defense again struggled to slow down the Seahawks offense. What did you make of what you saw on Sunday for the Steelers?
Yeah, well, it was an ugly football game, and after 2 weeks, the Steelers they have the 6th worst offense in the league in total yards, and they have the 4th worst defense in yards allowed in the National Football League. So, we talked with T.J. Watt, and I asked him, last year in the playoffs, this was the issue. In all the offseason, it was about fixing the defense. And, I think we're tired of we're going to go back and look at it. We're going to watch the tape. It's about execution. I don't know if publicly they want to call players out. That's kind of hard for a player, but maybe that's something Tomlin needs to assess or, maybe bring to light, like, hey, these certain guys aren't doing their job, or maybe they get benched. But you think, again, they gave up 299 against the Ravens. You had a 100-yard rusher in Breece Hall week 1, and that includes all the incredible runs that Justin Fields had. And Justin Fields, by the way, we saw how he looked this past week. I know he left the game early, but prior to him leaving the game early, he looked like the Justin Fields, the not good Justin Fields. He looked like the next coming of Randall Cunningham against the Steelers week 1. And then, and then they gave up another 100-yard rusher against Walker. That big 19-yard run on 3rd down, I mean, he basically weaved through the defense almost untouched from 19 yards out. So if you're a team focused on stopping the run, that is not the way you go about it.
And the Steelers cannot run it again.
Mm-mm. No, and it kind of goes back to the offensive line. For everything you like, there was always the what ifs. And I think the more what ifs you have, I say it all the time, I think that's just more concern. The less what ifs, what if J.J. McCarthy morphs out? What if Michael Penix pans out? What if this guy, for the Steelers, it's, what if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play to his level? What if the older guys that they signed don't make, aren't, the guys that they need, in terms of the youth and, we know we have the experience and the leadership, but then you have to put that on the field, as a 31, 32-year-old, Darius Slay, able to keep up with the horses that some of these teams have. So, those are and I hope, hopefully they'll get it fixed. And this is typical Tomlin, an 0-2 start. They'll probably win their next 3. They'll be 3-2. Everybody will be excited, and they'll, and then they'll lose 1, win 4. I think Tomlin has I want to say the last decade, and it's been a while. They lose at least 4 straight games in a row during the season. And, we've seen it time and time again, the year that they were undefeated, or going, 11, 12-0, and then they kind of collapse. So I don't know. It's an ugly situation. It was an ugly football game. Not to lie to you guys. Sitting in the press box, and you're just like, how long can this go on? Where you see this same product that there's no offense, and defensively, despite all the big names, collectively they fail to be the team that they want to be. Think about the Steelers in terms of points. They're allowed the 4th worst about points allowed. This is the Steelers' defense. I mean, think about that. The only team that has allowed more points in the National Football League, I believe, are the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Jets. So that just shows you where that defense is statistically.
Well, I know just 2 games. It's hard to really develop a lot in 2 games. But it has not been developed in 2 games between Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Only 3 catches, 6 targets, 20 yards, and a touchdown. For that kind of deal, I'd be looking at him every series.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because during training camp, it was almost we would joke on the sideline, just every single time, especially at Aaron. It took them some time early, when they were in the South Side before they went to Latrobe for training camp. So that was the first time we saw him. But once he started getting on the field, it was 8-4. Every time 8 and 4 were on the field, 8-4. It was like a joke amongst the media that you knew where the ball was going. It was going to be 8, and the first play was like 7 shots. It was going to 4. You just knew it. And then the season starts, and all those things that you think might come to fruition, you fail to see it. And it's a ground game that can't pick up the yards when they need to, and then they kind of instead of just kind of maybe airing it out. And I think Aaron Rodgers, despite his age, and Metcalf, I think, because he is the highest paid offensive guy in terms of skill guys and all that, I think you should utilize the two best players on your team and make that the focal point. And the Steelers want to be a ground and pound team and blah, blah, blah. But that's just a great point that, Metcalf is not getting the targets. I was joking with my buddies. I'm like, you want to bet an over and under? I'm betting, DK Metcalf over 110 catches. I just, you watched all this off-season training camp, and you're just thinking, if he's not getting 11 targets a game, something's wrong. And I guess there is something wrong because he's not getting any targets. Or the targets that he needs to, equal his pay and equal what this team needs to do offensively.
Yeah, it's a good point. Speaking of quarterback play, we're seeing a lot of quarterbacks go down with injuries as we get ready for Week 3. Brock Purdy already missed last week. 49ers able to win with Mac Jones at quarterback, but now Joe Burrow going to miss a lot of time, at least 3 months with a turf toe. J.J. McCarthy going to miss some time. Jaden Daniels questionable for this weekend. Justin Fields in concussion protocol. Which one of those quarterbacks does it hurt the most, their quarterback being out?
Well, we got to go with Joe Burrow. Yeah. When you're talking, you could argue he's the best quarterback in the league. So I think that. I mean, Browning did great, 3 touchdowns, and I think the thing that if you're a Bengals fan, at least that they were keeping T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in the game. And that it kind of piggybacks off what we're talking about in terms of what the Steelers aren't doing. Why aren't you throwing to DK Metcalf? The Bengals lost Burrow, but you know what? They didn't change the direction. Who are the 3 highest paid guys on the offense for the Bengals? Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. And what were they doing? Burrow's not there? Okay, well, we're still going to maximize the other 2 that we're paying a ton of money to. Vice versa, the Steelers don't do that. So, listen, Burrow being gone, and for the legacy of Joe Burrow, the Super Bowl, but all the time that he has missed off the field, and I know I've brought it up because I know we've discussed it. There's a borderline, and Brett, we've talked about this how many times. There's a point in Isaac Bruce's career with those hamstrings where you're like, is he going to become a legitimate weapon? We know he's good. We know he's Hall of Fame good. But if you're hurt, you can't become that guy. And I hope Burrow comes back. Who knows if he comes back this year? But once he does, he gets a good stretch, endurance stretch underneath his, resume of not missed games. Because if this continues, it's sad, but you're going to say this is a career that kind of really the best that never was, if you kind of want to go that route. I mean, you can't miss this much time at his level of eliteness, and it just kind of robs him, it robs the Bengals, it robs the team, and it robs all of us of a magnificent talent that we're not going to see.
Well said, Bo, it does. And, again, the Brown family and the Bengals, I just don't know how much winning really matters to them.
Well, we could – listen – you're going to have to keep me on till 1 a.m. if we're going to go down that road.
I mean, it matters to the Roonies. It matters to Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, just what's the bottom line? Did we make money? When's next year start for the Bengals?
We sure Jerry Jones cares about winning?
No, you know what? Not too glad.
That may be the case.
I think but Dak, I wish Dak would have did a little bit more if Joe Burrow did this offseason. Joe Burrow said, hey, we need to pay A, B, and you know what? I want Trey Hendrickson paid too. I think I would.
Yeah, he went Brady. He ran the team.
Yeah, he sure did. I think we might have lost Bo there. Landon, can you try to reconnect with Bo? It sounds like we might have lost him there, but I think he's right. I mean, I believe me. I wish that Dak Prescott would have taken a page out of Joe Burrow's book and said, hey, let's pay some of these other guys on this roster.
I saw it on one of the hot take shows this morning that the question was, could Joe Burrow become Andrew Luck? And I don't think that's unfounded. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's something, and I've seen that as well. I didn't see it on the Hot Take TV this morning, but I kind of saw it popping around on social media. I think someone wrote a story about it, kind of the similarities of injuries and different things, and how Andrew Luck made that decision to kind of to step away and say, hey, I'm a value this other stuff. I'm a value my health. and then we will see where it goes. But maybe that happens with Joe Burrow. I don't know, but the injuries have played a big time factor with his career, and it's something that I don't know if we'll ever get to see kind of what Joe Burrow looks like without these injuries. I believe we've got Bo Marchant back with us. Bo, something that Brett just said, and I've seen it a little bit as well, of kind of this idea, could we be seeing Joe Burrow on the Andrew Luck type of train in terms of trajectory of career?
It could be. I think it's a fair assessment. And then if you're the Bengals, they have Jake Browning there, and you got to think. I mean, it's only you're looking at his career, saying how many how many games did he miss each season, and then you got to look at the backup. And who knows? We don't know how this is going to go with Jake Browning. The next, maybe he becomes the Nick Foles. Carson Wentz goes down, and this guy becomes the Cinderella guy, and leads them to the promised land. Nobody would have said about that at Nick Foles. But, anything's possible. Anything is possible. But, you got to think, just hypothetically, next year is the draft. Do they pull the plug on a quarterback in the second round? It's really not what you want to do when you have a guy like Joe Burrow on the team. But then on the flip side,
that.
You want it like that. But then you got to worry about the franchise and not so much Joe Burrow. And, when Joe Burrow goes down, you want another guy that you can put in that you maybe feel comfortable in developing. So I think there's a lot of, we're going to hear about Jameis Winston and Kirk Cousins and all these, Skylar Thompson from the Steelers, who had a great offseason. We're going to hear about all these guys moving forward, I think, as the season prolongs. If Browning takes a step back and they don't become, a formidable team offensively week in out, then you got to assume that, the Bengals will go in another direction, which obviously they can. It's going to be a low-cost deal, but nonetheless, it might keep them competitive. It's sad they're 2-0. And they don't have Joe Burrow. I mean, that's what a slap in the face to that team and the fan base.
Yeah, and, we really don't have to drag Andrew Luck into this. We can just stay right there with that Bengals franchise and three that I think at least two of the three should be in Canton, but none of them are. Carson Palmer, Boomer Esiason, and Ken Anderson. They couldn't get it. They couldn't get the Bengals to a Super Bowl win either.
Yeah, and, those are great teams. They always lacked a little bit. And Garrett, listen, I will take it to the grave. The Logan Wilson holding call against the Rams on third down or whatever down that was, to give them an extra set. Yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals. We could all probably go back, and I'm sure a Rams fan could pinpoint a call that they said, well, if this play wasn't called, the Rams would have scored. But and then you look at, Brett, think about to that 49ers Bengals Super Bowl back, Montana's first. I mean, that was the second one. Was it the second one?
Yeah,
with the heroics with John Taylor. Yeah. So it's
16 was on the other side.
Yeah, they're just unfortunately, like you said. Unfortunately, they're on the losing side. But as much as we joke about the Bengals, there's they have been to Super Bowls and
with all three of those, or with Burrow and Anderson and Esiason, didn't go to one with Carson Palmer.
Right, but think about all the other teams that haven't even gotten that. It's again, it's really just occurred to me as we just discussed this that is. We joke about the Bengals and the Bungles and all the other nicknames that they receive, but at least they've been to the penthouse. They might not have been able to stay overnight. They had to go back down, but at least they were there. A lot of other teams wish they had that much success.
That's right. Bo Marchant talking NFL with us, and 1 hour ago talking college football with our regular Tuesday guest Brent Beard. I said this to him, and I'm going to say it to you now. We're asking the quarterbacks to run too much. That's why, first of all, we're playing way too many games, and that's not stopping. That's only going to go up at every level. But we're asking quarterbacks to do something you cannot sustain. It is not sustainable to ask these guys to be running backs. You're going to get broken in half, and there's J.J. McCarthy hurt and others hurt.
It is. Well, remember, I think I texted you, Brett, the first week of the college season, or and I said, I don't think I've ever seen so many quarterbacks rush for over 150 yards, 125 yards in a college football game. I'm watching all these games, and you have 150 yards, Brian has 190 yards, I have 127 yards, and you're like, what are we doing here? I mean, we know it's college football. Things are a little different from the National Football League in terms of what you want a quarterback, but. Yeah, it's the position, and I even think Brady addressed it in one of the interviews he did, where the position that he learned, that he was taught going to Michigan, is not the position being taught today in college football. It's not asking for so much read and reaction in the pocket. It's, take the most athletic guy on the field, and play breaks down, we're going to pick up junk yards and vice versa. And we're kind of seeing that a little bit. We definitely see a more athletic guy, and in the National Football League, and that's for all the top guys. I mean, you think of Lamar Jackson's ability to run the ball. You think of Josh Allen's ability to run the football. He's not as elusive. Jalen Hurts. So, Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones is a fantastic runner of the football. But, like Hurts Hurts is a big guy. Daniel Jones is a huge individual. Josh Allen's a big guy. But when you start talking about some of these other guys, I mean, look at the runs that Baker Mayfield was making last night. They're great plays, and they're you love seeing the spirit. But there's a point where that might bite you. I know you feel good and you're trying to make a play for your team, but those defensive guys, I mean, they're like hungry lions out there on the field, and when they see that
and they would devour
that one, he's out from he's not in the herd anymore, and this one's not they see
That's
that
the
they
one.
sense that quick, and they're going to devour it. So it's buyer beware. It's good, and not to get again off topic, but I mean, great game by Baker Mayfield. You just love I love the way he's playing. I know you just got to admire the grit, and I got to ask you, do you think? And I was trying to think, and I'm asking because, I saw Ken Stabler when he was with the Oilers, and, he was basically past his prime. Yeah. Is there any resemblance to Baker and Stabler in terms of how they play, or no?
That's interesting. I haven't ever thought about it. Now, it may sound laughable, but Ken Stabler was a great runner in college. Now, he got to the NFL, and John Madden and Al Davis never really asked him to run, but he had escapability. Brian, I said earlier, it's klutzy. It's a little bit clumsy and ugly, and it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but Mayfield gets it done. Stabler could make that run in the famous game against Franco, December 23rd, 1972. Kenny Stabler had just had a magnificent run of about 25 yards to put the Raiders ahead.
Wow.
That's not a bad comparison. But, the whole lefty-righty thing, when anybody's left-handed, you only compare them to lefties.
Yeah, that's true, too. I didn't even think about that when I was thinking about them. I was just trying to think of Baker's kind of, because we know what, Baker loves being the guy that you're not going to root for and the guy that you're not going to support and the guy that nobody believes in. That we've said it how many times. That's what feeds his fuel, is being that guy. And I've never seen Stabler, in his prime, and you just hear or watch and blah blah blah. But obviously, you're the guy to talk to, and I love how you just instantly were able to flash back to the Franco game and gives us stats and runs. That's why, my man, you are the legend you are. I mean, very few could just do that right off the cuff, not prepared. Just ramble that off. That's why you're beautiful, my man.
All right, now can I give up the real reason why I know that date? Remember it so well.
I gotta know now.
That was my parents' anniversary.
Okay.
And that day, they had already taken me to my grandmother's, and we're both intently watching the game. They wanted to get rid of me to go out for their anniversary. And December 23rd, 1972 was the Franco Immaculate Reception.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. That's impressive. Yeah, you still remember it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bo, you mentioned Tom Brady a second ago. A lot of people talking about Tom Brady today. We know what he's doing with his work with Fox, but last night the ESPN cameras caught him in the coach's box with the Raiders as the minority owner for
I've already
Las
lost
Vegas
my mind
Raiders.
on this today, Bo.
He has. Brett has let it known how strongly he feels about this. What's going on there, and what needs to come about from this?
Well, I don't know which side you're on, or both of you guys are on or off, but it doesn't put me into a rage. Put it that way. Like the tush push, that kind of puts me into a rage. The one thing I'll say is, you got a guy in Brady who comes from Spygate and Deflategate, wherever side you want to put that on, but he comes from a team that is notorious for being a little shady on those particular topics. And my wife asked me earlier, it's so funny you brought this up, that my wife asked me that earlier, and I said this: it doesn't give him a disadvantage, it gives him an advantage. So I think that's how much of an advantage, but it's an advantage. Mm-hmm. I don't know the in-depth, but I know I'm on the field enough where you do, and he's Tom Brady. He knows and sees 1,000 times more things that I do. He hears and learns. everything more than I would. But anything that he can pick up, I look at it as a little free agency thing where, hey, I like I picked up on how this guy is, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I think it could be, again, is it a momentum advantage? But it's an advantage 31 other teams do not have. I'll
well
put
said.
that.
You said it so much better than me losing my mind at 3 o'clock.
A little more composed than Brett was earlier today when he was
I
talking
raised
about
my voice, Bo.
Sure did. No, he was fired up about it.
I think it's a rule that they're not allowed to do it, but but he's doing it. That's what makes no sense to me.
Well,
I
it's the
believe
payback to him for the bogusness of Deflategate, all started by that troublemaker Bob Kravitz in Indianapolis Star.
Yeah, but anyways, that again, it doesn't it doesn't irk me to the depths that might irk some, but I do think at the end of the day, if you just had to say advantage or disadvantage, I think being logical, you'd have to say it's an advantage. Definitely. Even if it's 0.1%, it's an advantage.
That's it. And they wouldn't allowed it for Dandy Don Meredith to be a co-owner.
Yeah, and and that just goes to we live in a world where Fox has given him so much money. It's kind of like Michigan and the cheating scandal. Years ago, you're going to have all these other things happen. Now it's big money, and you can't take Michigan off TV. You're stuck with them. Mm-hmm. Years ago,
because they make you money.
That's right.
Yeah, they're making money, and Fox is making money with Brady. Brady's making money for the NFL, vice versa. They all have in their hands in the same cookie jar. So they're not going to say, hey, you know what, we're not going to do this. I don't know really how many eyes that Tom Brady brings to a football game. Again, if the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing, I don't even need an announcer personally. I mean, I'm just going to watch it. I love hearing the good ones. They're great, but again, I'm tuning in to the Lions. Or who's the worst teams in the league? Just hypothetically, I will tune in to the Browns and the Jaguars, and you could put my mom and her sister on and they would be like, I like the Lions logo. My mom would be like, and my mom would be petrified. Oh no, don't hit them.
And if you'll notice the Tom Brady games, I would dare say, I'm not charting it, but I would dare say more shots in the booth of them than any other broadcast team, because we know the eyeballs of the NFL want to push those ratings even higher. They got all the guys. You show hunky Tom Brady a bunch on camera, you got another big demographic watching.
You are, because and I get it. I mean, that's why they showed Taylor Swift. I mean, if you're a TV producer and you're like, who's the most popular person in the state or the most disliked person in the stadium, I guess. But she's Taylor Swift. Yeah. If we're watching the Eagles, we see what's his name? The actor. I know his name.
Yeah.
He was in The Hangover.
Yeah.
But we see, I'm forgetting all the actors. Who's the actor we see at the Texas games and whatnot?
McConaughey, like he's the coach.
Oh man, I love McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. So I get it, but Brady's the same way. He's Tom Brady. He's arguably the most successful quarterback.
I went to Pro Football Ref and I cheated Snake Stabler out of 5 yards. It was a 30-yard rush late in the game before Franco's catch.
Heck yeah.
I just said 25.
Man, if there was a Stabler fan listening, and they're glad you corrected it. You might have got a social media post.
Trust me, there's always one Stickler.
Yeah, I was about to say, you would have been in trouble. You would have been in trouble with that. But Bo, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll do it again next Tuesday.
Hey, have a fabulous week. Stay safe, gentlemen.
Right back at you, Bo. Bo Marchant joining us to talk the NFL and a lot that we didn't even get to. But I'm so excited for next week when we talk with Bo, because we need to talk Daniel Jones with him. I mean, Bo was Mr. Danny Dimes for a long time, so much so that last year he told us that we could never let him talk glowingly about Danny Dimes anymore. But now it's coming to fruition.
He talked about the prolific runner he is, except when he's in open field and the turf monster grabs him.
Brett, you could have just... you didn't have to bring that up. It's a low light for Daniel Jones. He's playing so well right now. He doesn't need you to bring him down. I mean, or the turf monster.
And I'm sorry for raising my voice earlier. I saw Landon really kind of respond to
I was like, whoa,
the raised voices.
I didn't know Tom Brady brought that out of you, but it does. And hey, I love where Bo's at with the tush push. Let's get it out of there. And I like where you were at. Let's ban it mid-season. I've had enough
Tush
of
push
it.
is gone.
I had enough of it.
It's as good as gone.
I had enough of it the first time I saw it.
That's why I want the Eagles to get in it and stay in it one complete drive before they take it away from them.
You know, honestly, and Brett, Sirianni, I wouldn't put it against them. If the heat is rising and you feel like it's a matter of time, then hey, go out there for a drive and let it.
It's hard to officiate and
very hard.
Impossible to stop.
No, you're right on both of those things. So I think this is the last year.
So why don't more do it?
Because I think the Eagles have perfected it in ways that may or may not be legal, and I don't think other teams can perfect it. Like they also have a guy in the backfield that's squatting like 700 pounds. So, I mean, they've got a guy that just on his own can get the push, and then they put other guys behind him to get the push.
Who's the second best pusher?
I think Josh Allen with the Bills.
Because the size of him.
I think, and they'll throw it out there every once in a while, or at least something that looks kind of like it.
Boy, have you noticed it when college tries it?
No, yeah.
Royal disaster.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, Brett, a lot of these.
The ball could go anywhere.
Brett,
Bad snap.
I'm watching through these first 3 weeks of some of these, just 4th and 1, 4th and inches, and they get into just not even a tush push, just a little quarterback sneak, and it's ugly.
Do you remember the first Ole Miss touchdown Saturday night, and then there was an Arkansas penalty, and they could move the ball, and it looked like Ole Miss was going to go for 2, and then they got and it took forever to sort that play out.
Yeah.
There was no way. If you had put it at the 1 centimeter line, there was no way Lane Kiffin was going for 2 for this reason. You only have so many 2-point plays.
That's a good point.
Why are you going to show that in game 3 of the first quarter?
No. Yeah, exactly. First touchdown of the first quarter in game 3. No, that's
the book of 2-point plays, it's really small, and we know in college when you get in overtime, you run them all.
Oh, yeah, you get to that 2-point conversion style of overtime, and, yeah, you got to go deep into the well sometimes to get that 2-point play that you want to run. So, yeah, that's a really good point by you. But we got to get to a break here in a second. Before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Let's up your life with Let's.
Surprise the family with a new club car and experience the best golf cart in the industry. A new golf cart is perfect for cruising the neighborhood, enjoying yourself at the lake, turning heads on the course, and just having something reliable to use around the yard. Lads has you covered with new and used golf cars. The new Club Car Onward, available in electric or gas and a variety of colors and features. Lads goes beyond the green. Whitten and I-40 or online at lads.net.
All 650 acquisition fee, K4LX SE 183.31.19, MSRP 24.440, K5LX ST 54.13.744, MSRP 28.750, Telluride SG 689.239, MSRP 38.255. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through KFA. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/2/2025.
Hey, you thinking about Kia? Well, you better be thinking about Jeff Allen over at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. I got him on the line right now. What's up, Jeff Allen?
How about this, Randy? 2025 Kia K4LX, $145 per month, 39 MPG highway. 2026 Kia K5LXS, $230 per month.
That's some great deals on K4 and K5. What else you got over there, Jeff?
How about 2025 Kia Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $298 per month. All $49.99 due at signing, 24-month lease. Plus the all-new 2026 EV9, 72 months available with rates as low as 0%.
And they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still heavy out here in a couple of spots, making your way down 240 east from Mill Branch all the way to 385. Yes, sir, more volume in the last few minutes on Bill Notes Parkway going outbound like it normally does, headed out towards Collierville. It's also increased through Midtown I-40 at Chelsea, watching it slow down at times on 40 east here at Sycamore View Road. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Go see them right now at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending. Couple things to talk about during this segment, but I want to go back to something we talked about in our 3:30 segment with Matt Infield. We were talking about potentially who could fit that spot for Memphis next season on their schedule with Arkansas moving the game to 2030. And he said Louisville is a team to look at. And so I said, all right, let's go look at Louisville's schedule for 2026. Well, right now, their non-conference schedule is full according to FBS schedules in the 2026 schedule. It says that they play Villanova, Georgia, Charlotte, and Kentucky all in the non-conference. But obviously, looking at that schedule, you got to go and look at those SEC teams. Well, Kentucky, they've already fixed theirs. They only have 3 non-conference games next year. But Georgia, they have 4 non-conference games next season. Western Kentucky, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Tennessee. So I guess that Georgia Tech it says it's a non-conference game. That would be a conference game. But outside of that, that's only 3, so they need one. So Louisville could fit that non-conference one. I think that'd be a great one.
Yeah, Kentucky and Louisville will stay because it meets the Power 4 requirement.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know if it stays. It could go back early in the year like it used to be, Governor's Cup, Commonwealth Cup, whatever Governor's Cup of the Commonwealth. I don't know that will be rivalry weekend.
Yeah.
Same, sadly, for Georgia and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a good question. So you would think Georgia would keep Georgia Tech on the schedule as their non-conference, but
Mike Griffin that I like a lot and very very assertive on opinions. You see him a lot on Paul Feinbaum. I like Mike a lot. In fact, I have told him I think he is the natural replacement, the heir apparent to Paul Feinbaum's show whenever, and it doesn't sound like now it's even close that Paul Feinbaum wants to go much longer, is paid very well, and insisted on getting back to Birmingham and out of Charlotte, and they accommodated him. But anyway, Mike Griffin has said, much like LSU and Tulane used to be a thing, and they ended it, that Georgia and Georgia Tech needs to be in.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Did not make him popular among the Tech faithful.
No, I believe that. I definitely Georgia Tech wants to keep that game on the schedule, but I wonder what that game does for Georgia fans. I really don't know. I mean,
not much.
I was about to say it's
and
certainly
that
not
makes
their
Tech fans mad at me for saying not much. I'm just telling you how they
That's the
feel.
truth. I mean,
Don't be mad at me.
What is Georgia gonna hold Georgia Tech higher than Florida? I mean,
never.
I mean, just or
Not
some of those
Vanderbilt.
other rivalries. Yeah, I mean,
What really made him mad?
Well, yeah, but you better stop before
I doubled down,
I don't know
didn't I?
how many Georgia Tech fans are in the listening
A bunch.
area, but
There are a lot of Tech fans in Memphis. I know
what?
a lot of them.
Really? I don't know. I don't think I know a single Georgia Tech fan.
One of my best friends my entire life's a Tech fan.
Really?
And I'm not kidding you. I was texting him as the ball, I knew it was good off the foot. And from the stadium, he was texting me and his wife from the stadium. And
awesome.
They have been truly around the world to watch Georgia Tech in sports.
That's great. I love that. Well, for their sake, I hope that the Georgia stays on the schedule for them and that rivalry continues. But we're going to see a lot of big changes in the SEC with future scheduling. I wouldn't put anything to the side. I mean, I think anything's up for play.
It really is. And now remember, in the SEC, you're going to play everybody every 2 years.
Right.
So what that's going to mean, like when that schedule comes out for next year, you're going to have 3 permanents. And I'm just using for an example. I don't think Arkansas and Ole Miss will be permanent, but they could play the next year.
Right.
And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could even be Arkansas coming back to Oxford. They're not going to have too many hang-ups on where you went last, and it's going to be completely reshuffled. And also with that, then it does not mean the next year that you get the game back.
Oh, wow.
It could just be a one-off. And
Interesting.
Then the next time, whenever it rolls around, if you traveled, you host.
I see. Interesting. Wow, it's going to be weird next year, Brett.
The Arkansas 3 permanents, I feel like, will be Texas, which that's what they badly want.
Yeah.
And Mizzou, they don't want that, but the proximity. And I think it will be LSU, and I think the LSU game will go back around Thanksgiving weekend and get out of the borderline rivalry that never took with Mizzou, largely because Arkansas never won. It has resembled as much of a rivalry as hammer and nail.
Yeah, it's kind of been house of horrors for Arkansas against Missouri. But yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with that if I was an Arkansas fan, I guess.
I'm told the Ole Miss two natural permanents are set, LSU and State.
Definitely.
But a big debate on the third one.
Okay.
Could be a couple of things.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they're definitely
a
one of those
lot
teams.
of things.
Well, and that's the thing is there's a lot of teams in the SEC where and we've talked about this, when you get past, there's some teams where you get past one team, it's like, okay, well, we have options now. There's a whole lot of teams where you get past 2 teams and it's okay, well, what do we do with this third one? I mean, there's very few teams out there that right now, okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 3. These are going to be the 3 protected teams.
And not a single strand of anything I've said is coming from Keith Carter.
Yeah.
But he did tell us on pregame Saturday that he knows next year Ole Miss will have the 5 home SEC games, travel 4, and then it will reverse the next year.
Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. It's got to be soon that we get some information about what next year will look like for SEC scheduling.
But he also told us it's all set.
Oh,
they know.
They just haven't released it.
Guess why?
Because they're going to do the big old show, Brett. I mean,
The big old December Disclose show on their network. When you have a network, you have to have programming.
So we're gonna wait till then. I love
Yeah.
it, and that's when everyone's gonna be fired up. We've got bowl games, we've got playoffs, and how about this? We're unveiling the 2026 SEC schedule. Oh man.
Yeah, see where we're going next year.
Oh man, yeah. Well,
And you know, I'm like every one of those unveiled shows. You can't stand
you
them.
do. I hate them. I can't stand them at all.
Dude.
I mean, I think it's a waste of time. But they're gonna keep putting them on. So I guess there's people out there.
Yeah, people like me.
Yeah, I guess
people
so.
raise their voice over Tom Brady.
That's right, over Tom Brady.
And I like Tom Brady.
You do like Tom Brady.
Just decide which one.
You just got to pick a side. There's a lot of things where you can't sit on the fence. You got to pick a side. And Tom Brady right now is
Right.
very much sitting on a fence.
Some of my passion around that, it was horrible what they did to him over Deflategate.
Sure.
That was ridiculous.
It was.
First of all, nobody cares. And Andrew Luck liked the less deflated football as much as Tom Brady did that day to make it a little more tacky and grip better on it. It was the biggest nothing burger ever made. And essentially, the NFL appointed a special prosecutor to go after the face of the league.
Crazy.
I'm raising my voice
You
again.
are. You're Brett. We got to change the subject because
We
you're
do.
getting hot again. But how about I'll change the subject to this real quick. I saw ESPN has this playoff predictor that you can go in. They update it after every week.
I've been there today.
Have you? I didn't know this was a thing until earlier this afternoon.
Well, I was looking for Ole Miss, and Ole Miss in the
Very high.
FPI
Okay.
only one game. The rest of the year, ESPN says we'll lose.
Really?
Please
Wow.
be right, FPI.
Oh, man.
Please be right.
Well, the playoff predictor on ESPN says Ole Miss has a 60% chance right now to make the playoff. The most likely right now is Ohio State and Georgia and Oregon. All the teams in front of Ole Miss all have 77% chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, that's great news.
Sure.
Here's the comeback to it. It's kind of snotty comeback.
Sure.
What was it this time last year?
Well, hey, that's I
Before
don't even
the
know.
Kentucky loss.
I don't even know if the playoff predictor was a thing last year, right? I'm just now learning about the playoff predictor. This is all.
I was
news to
sad
me.
I found it today because now I'll be going to it like I do the
Yeah.
goofy bowl projections after 3 weeks.
Well, and how I found it is because Memphis is the highest group of 5 on here. The only 2 group of 5 teams on here. It's Memphis and Tulane. Memphis is at 28%, right next to Vanderbilt. Oh, man, let's anchor down. Vanderbilt, 28% chance to make the playoffs right now.
There's a Vandy and Memphis both in a
I
playoff
love
this
it.
December.
I mean,
Wow.
oh, what a great time. Tulane, 19%. So I saw people earlier on social media talking about Vanderbilt has a 28% chance to make it. Memphis has a 28% chance to make it on this playoff predictor. So I went and looked. I found all this. You can go in and ask you some questions, and it will give you a simulation of the playoffs. First time I did it, Brett. Memphis and Ole Miss in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, how fun would that be? Book it now.
It'd be awesome. A 12-5 Memphis and Ole Miss.
This station will be doing remotes at
Oh, yeah.
4 in the morning that week.
24 hours, just all day long, all night long, just constant
Sign me up.
coverage. Yep, absolutely.
Sign me up for this as well from All-Star Chevrolet. It is time to load them up and head for games or hit the road for a fall trip. All-Star Chevy right there in Olive Branch. They're ready. Come check out all the new Tahoes and Suburbans, the Equinox, the Traverse, all the Silverados right there at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. First exit, take Kraft Goodman Road after you cross into Mississippi on Highway 78. All the Silverados are there. Financing is low as 0 or 3.9 and no payments for 90 days. 1.9 and no payments for 90 days on a new 26 Equinox. Your good credit deserves it. And Drew DePriest and his team, they guarantee it for you. All-Star, the best of the pre-owns and certified Chevys, a ton of Silverados, Tahoes, Equinox, that good-looking Corvette Stingray they have. If you have any car or truck you want to sell, this is the best week, and All-Star Chevy's the best place Bring your title and get a big check today. Let's go to All-Star together. Let's drive down Highway 78, and let's make that fall road trip starting from All-Star Chevrolet. Everything you want to drive is right there on the lot at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. For more information, please go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, we need to get to our final break of the day, and when we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's and Humdinger's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Marshall Steakhouse is a feast for the eyes as well as the body. Enjoy all American USDA prime steaks, aged 30 days or more, and other delicious meats and sides. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, named the #1 steakhouse in Mississippi by the Food Network, and named in the top 2 most legendary steakhouses in the South by Southern Living Magazine. Make reservations today and get free bread pudding by calling 662-252-2424 or online at marshallsteakhouse.com. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, a Southern treat.
Ready to shine, Memphis? Drive clean all month long with unlimited wash plans at Club Car Wash. Stop by any 4 Club locations in Greater Memphis or visit clubcarwash.com today.
Club Car Wash. Join the club.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
I think a lot about golf, and when I think golf, I think Miramichi. Did you know Miramichi Golf Course offers membership? It's a great way to play more golf for less out of pocket. Their memberships run for $300 a month plus tax, and that includes unlimited rounds and range balls, no extra card fees, priority tee time booking, and discounts in the pro shop. Oh, by the way, there's no initiation fee. Miramichi green fees, they'll allow you to choose the right rate at the right time on the right day for your needs. If morning tee times are more important, you can book up to 14 days ahead of time to reserve your spot. If rate is more important to you, there are discounted evening rates available that you can choose from. Miramichi is now open on Mondays, and you'll find the lowest rate is on Thursday. Sometimes you just need to escape the hustle and bustle of life. Miramichi Golf Course provides just the right place to solve that need. The name Miramichi means place of happy retreat. When you need a quiet, peaceful round of golf, please make your way to Miramichi.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Taco Tuesday. Enjoy crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. $2 tacos all day. The best deal in town.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something I don't understand. You said you love me, and that's a fact. And then you
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight? This is Geraldo.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries, its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee. Goodbye!
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Lunchtime is brought to you by Humdinger's Taco Tuesday. Enjoy crunchy slaw, grilled fish and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. $2 tacos all day. It's the best deal in town. A little Taco Tuesday action. Sounds perfect tonight. But, Brett, what I learned today, it's that Major League Baseball, we're starting to wrap up the season, and it's a lot of fun storylines going on around the league. But everybody is watching these wild card races and to see how these standings come down at the end of the season. But one thing that has been fun to watch is always the AL West and how it shapes up. Right now, the Seattle Mariners, they are in the lead for the division, but right behind them are the Houston Astros. Only a game back right now, but Seattle with a strong 9-game win streak to take that lead in the AL West, but only 3 games behind the wild card, behind the Houston Astros, are the Texas Rangers. So it looks like time's starting to maybe run out for the Rangers.
Big-headed Bruce Bochy.
That's right, but they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're playing hot right now. The Astros, they're playing well. Mariners on a 9-game win streak. The AL West is going to do it again. It's going to come down to the last weekend of the season.
Bochy, one time I was in the Giants clubhouse, and it was after the game. He had his hat off and was kind of rubbing his head, fixing his hair. Yeah. And I looked down at that hat, and I swear – you could have filled it with water and swam.
Wow.
That's a dome. That is a dome.
I believe it.
And what I learned today is Trey Turner's going to win the National League batting crown because they've shut him down for the rest of the year. He's getting well. He's going to be fine for the playoffs and will really help the Phillies. He's going to win it at 305. If he had to stay in there and play, we would have had our first batting title winner ever sub 300. But he's going to win it at 305.
Yeah, he will, and shutting him down, and probably good. Yeah, very smart to do.
Look out for the Phillies.
No, definitely. They are a really good baseball team. Well, what I could have done without, I'm going to stick with Major League Baseball. It's the news that just came out earlier this afternoon that Yordan Alvarez is going to miss significant time with a left ankle sprain. Now,
did you see it?
I did not see it.
Don't watch it if you hadn't.
I will not. I saw the tweets and stuff about it when it happened, but
Wear
I did not
metal
see it.
spikes. The soft spikes made it slide on home plate, and the ankle went, yeah.
I don't want to watch it, but just you saying it gives me the visual, and it already sounds bad. But hopefully this isn't anything that creeps into postseason if the Houston Astros do make postseason play, because Yordan Alvarez has been really good and he's come up in some big spots in postseason play. They would really love to have them, but right now what's more important is getting to the playoffs, because Houston, they're fighting off the Rangers that are right behind them. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun down the stretch in the AL West.
Eli Savoy inspired me early this morning with his trivia question about Arkansas and Memphis. So I looked the last time they played was 1998. I mentioned that in my top story. And I looked at the quarterbacks from 1998. Clint Stumble Sterner versus Kenton Evans. Whew. Saturday's quarterback play will be a lot better than those two.
It'll be much better.
Box score in 98,
okay.
42,766.
Wow.
That'd be bigger than the capacity than the new stadium.
It'll be quarterback play will be better, capacity less. So give a little, take a little from the last time these two teams met. But no, that is a good nugget, and I'm excited, especially for that quarterback matchup on Saturday. Where are you beaming tonight?
Christopher Sanchez, 13-5, 2.57 ERA, 1.11 whip, whatever that means, against Shohei Ohtani tonight at Dodger Stadium. Why are the Dodgers pitching Shohei? A lot can go wrong with him out there having to be the pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
if they lost that bat for the playoffs.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that to happen because he's definitely. We talked about it. I mean, you can make an argument that he's almost worth that type of money just with his bat, and especially this late in the season, just throwing him out there when he's gotten back, he's gotten kind of healthy on the mound, he's given them a couple innings. But I'm with you. I'd shut down that arm and just give me the bat for right now. How about beam me? And let's see, I just talked about it. The Mariners on a 9-game win streak. Let's see if they can make it double digits tonight. Logan Gilbert on the mound. They're on the road in Kansas City against the Royals. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Kansas City. He's been pretty good this year, and Logan Gilbert, he's had a good season as well, so that should be a fun pitching matchup.
Good night of baseball.
Really
Cleveland needs a win at Detroit. The Red Sox at home against the homeless A's at Fenway. Padres and Mets, both, battle royale. Jays and Rays.
Yeah.
Rays Jays more than Rays. And Seattle at Kansas City, good night of baseball. May not ever get that the Braves-Nats game going.
Did they already cancel the one tonight?
Delayed.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, the way they were talking, again, during that game, I didn't go and look up what the weather was looking like in D.C., but the way they were talking about it earlier was like, we at least need to finish this game. And so, doesn't look like they're going to get that one in tonight, but either way, it's going to be a really fun night of baseball. Like you said, some important games. It really feels like the playoffs start now as we see who's going to make it, the positioning over these next couple of weeks before we get to the real thing here in 2 weeks. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.